Okay, Prem, hi ma'am, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hi ma'am. Pooja Kumari, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Prem. Good afternoon, Rakesh, Pujita, Arvind Radhakrishnan, Pankaj. Good afternoon. Namaste. Namaste. Gaming, Titan Gaming, namaste. दीपक मैम गुड नून बहुत वेट करवा दिया. इट्स ओके दीपक, कुछ नहीं होगा. Gajendra, good afternoon. Long time waiting, ma'am. I know most of the students, all the students, not most of the students, all the students are waiting. But it's okay. Even if it is delayed, it will be worthwhile. I guarantee that. Karthik, good afternoon. Last time with marathon, I scored 70 marks. I came here to many thanks to my teacher. Well, thank you so much, Rajendran. Thank you so much for coming to the live and letting students know about your marks, 70 marks. Thank you so much. Now, cost audit is based on trust you. Please संभाल लेना. मैं संभाल लूंगी. आप क्यों टेंशन ले रहे हो? चिंता फ्री रहो. मैं हूं ना. Ashokan, good afternoon, madam. Okay, okay, okay. So all this good afternoon and all, I'm not going to name in each and every one because it will take so long. So we'll quickly start, and if you have any doubts, if it is most important doubt, then we'll take time for separate doubts and I'll discuss it after the class, which means at the end of the class. Okay. So yes, we'll start our session now. Uh, gosh, started there. Thank you so much. So, hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to the marathon session of cost audit, CMA final paper number 17, cost and management audit. मुस्कान, पहली बार आपको हिंदी बोलते देखा हम. क्यों आप पिछले वाले जो भी हम शॉर्ट्स डाल रहे थे या फिर आई थिंक आप मेरे क्लासेस नहीं ले होंगे इसलिए आपको ऐसा लग रहा. రాకేష్ పాన్ ఇండియా పార్వతి మ్యామ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. మ్యామ్ నాకు కూడా రిప్లై ఇవ్వండి మ్యామ్, కరెక్ట్ గా నా మెసేజే చూడలేదు. ఓకే బాలకృష్ణ గారు, ఐఎమ్ రియలీ సారీ. గుడ్ ఆఫ్టర్నూన్. మీ మెసేజ్ లాస్ట్ టైం వచ్చింది నేను చూడలేదు బికాస్ చాలా మెసేజెస్ వస్తున్నాయి, ర్యాండమ్ గా స్కిప్ అయిపోతుంది. ప్లీజ్ యూజ్ సింపుల్ ఇంగ్లీష్ లాంగ్వేజ్ మ్యామ్. Simple English only. I don't know American English. I don't know French English. I'll not use any English. Only Indian English will be used in this particular marathon. You need not to worry about it. Okay? Okay. Now, coming to the details, you already know these details, even though we'll give a quick recap of these details. Now, this is power-packed 5-day live marathon session. All these classes, whatever 5 days classes are going to be there, will be available in YouTube. Live also will be there. After live also, the video will be available in the YouTube only. Many students have asked me, video will be there till the examination. I hope it is clear. And all this 5 days live class will be there in 100% English. So this marathon will be completely 100% English. Now, starting date is today, you already know it, 15th of November. And when this is going to be end, this is going to be ended on 19th of November, entirely 5 days class. Duration, daily 3 to 4 hours class will be there. Timings 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Fixed timings, no change in timings for now. If due to any urgency or requirement, if there is any change in timings, then I'll inform it in the Telegram channel. So if any student who hasn't joined the Telegram channel, join the Telegram channel, not only to know the timings, but most importantly, to get your notes. whatever notes I'm going to use in this particular marathon will be shared in the Telegram channel only. So join the Telegram channel. Okay. Now, in this particular marathon, what we are going to cover? I am going to cover A and B category topics. I have already given you the schedule, which means the topics which we are going to cover. Exclusive coverage of questions with answers. Previously, whatever marathons in the previous attempts used to be there, I used to take 3 books, which is concept book, workbook, and the handwritten notes, which I have for my subject. All the students know about it. But in this particular marathon, we are not going to touch any of that because the main initiative was that the day before examination, students are getting so much confused of which book to pick. Ma'am, whether we have to concentrate on capsule, whether we have to concentrate on pinnacle or concept book. No need to worry about anything. The day before examination, you have to just stick on to the material which I am giving to you right now. That's more than sufficient for you to prepare the day before examination. This is specially curated marathon and for this marathon there is a specially curated material also. I hope it is clear. Now what are the topics we are going to cover? From the section A, basics of cost audit, companies cost records and audit rules 2014, cost auditor, overview of cost accounting standards and GESA. Next from section B, basics of management audit, management reporting issues and analysis, management audit in different functions. And then from section C, audit of different service organizations, and section D, forensic audit and anti-money laundering. So this is the most important topics which you shouldn't skip, which are A category, and from B category I've only taken the 2 topics, which is basics of cost audit and basics of management audit, because those are the basics to move to the next topic. So these are the must topics which you have to see for December 2025 examination. Now, what is the coverage in last 4 attempts? In December 23, alone from this 10 topics, the mark was 91 marks. And in June 24, it was 92 marks. In December 24, it is 105 marks. And in June 25, it is 99 marks. Yes, students will tell me, ma'am, this marks is inclusive of MCQs. This mark is inclusive of theory questions and also practical questions. In this particular marathon of 5 days, we are not going to touch the practical questions. But you can be rest assured for practical questions, there is already a video which is available in the YouTube, which is 25 practical questions video. You can see that video and you will get the enough clarity about the practical questions. And for practice, I'll give you the material especially for December 2025 attempt, which will consist of practical questions alone. You can practice that. You need not worry about it. I hope it is clear. And coming to MCQs, whatever questions we are going to discuss in this classes, from that concept clarity itself, you will be able to write the MCQs as well. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now, this is the entire introduction of this particular marathon. Now, moving on to the introduction of our subject. I know many students already know this. Our subject is cost and management audit, and in cost and management audit, we have 4 sections. Section A, cost audit. Section B, management audit. Section C, internal control, internal audit, operational audit and other related issues. And section D, forensic audit and anti-money laundering. Now, coming to the paper pattern, this also you already know it. We have 2 sections in our paper. One is section A and next is section B. Now, in section A, we have MCQs of 30 marks. In this 30 marks, majorly the first 10 MCQs will be completely conceptual MCQs, whereas the last 5 MCQs will be practical MCQs. Now, where will this MCQ part will be covered in our material? I told you I'll give you a special material for practical questions. Yes, so in that practical questions material itself, you will be able to find this MCQs. I hope it is clear. Now, coming to section B. In section B, we'll have 7 questions. Each question will have 2 subparts, subpart A and subpart B. And so, combinedly, we'll have total 14 questions. The entire coverage of the paper will be 128 marks. So, you have to attempt only 5 questions in that, which means a combination of A and B. Total 10 questions you have to write. In this 10 questions, 7 will be descriptive questions and 3 will be practical questions. Many students are trying to skip this practical part and only concentrate on the descriptive part. My dear students, don't do that mistake, because if you whatever you do and write it fully, even though if you write the concept exactly whatever there in your book, you will not get 7 out of 7 marks in the examination, because it is very hard to get 7 out of 7 in the theory. So what you have to do, you have to focus on the practical part as well. In practical, you will get 7 out of 7 marks. But in descriptive, getting full marks is not so easy. So I request to the students to concentrate on both descriptive as well as practical questions. I hope it is clear. So this is about the paper pattern. Now index, you already know the index. I'm not going to tell about the index. Now coming to the weightage analysis. I have given this weightage analysis in my capsule notes. So whoever students has my capsule notes, you already have this particular weightage analysis. And not only weightage analysis, I've also shared the past trend analysis, which means in our examination, we have 2A, 2B, 3A, 3B, 4A, 4B, right? In 2A, what questions are being asked frequently? In 2B, what kind of question is being asked frequently? That analysis I have made and I have given in this particular sheet. Now, where this weightage analysis and past trend analysis will be available, it is also available in the Telegram channel. So you can join the Telegram channel and get the access of this as well. I hope it is clear. Now coming to this ABC analysis, entire this particular document, this I have prepared for my exam oriented batch students, which is audit treasure map, nothing but ABC analysis. Okay, this entire particular whatever PDF is there, I'll share after this class in my Telegram channel. You need not worry about it. I hope it is clear. So I have given you the introduction about the marathon and also introduction about the subject. Is everything clear so far? Can we move on to our question and answers and start the marathon? Most important thing, you pick and start, ma'am. Yes, I have designed it in such a way only, Pooja Kumari. Ma'am, filing of cost audit report, audit program cover nahi hoga. Nahi cover nahi hoga. Pankaj, yes ma'am. Okay. I hope everything is clear. Now, so this is the material which is specially designed for December 2025 marathon. Okay. Now, moving on to the first today. Now, I have completely taken 10 topics. Which are these 10 topics? We have 5 days and we have 10 topics. So simply we are going to cover 2 topics per day. So today our target will be basics of cost audit and companies cost records and audit rules 2014. Now in this particular material, whatever there, I have categorized the questions into super questions and smart questions. Now let us see about this particular PDF, then you will understand it very clearly. Now, as I've already told you, this PDF has carefully curated with questions and answers only. No concept, nothing. Only question and answers to help you clearly understand how the exam questions are being asked. And most importantly, how you have to write in the examination without losing the marks. Now, it also works as an answer writing practice tool, so you can improve your presentation structure as well as you will get the conceptual clarity. So most students face the difficulty in the presentation and writing the answer. That is what we are going to cover in this particular marathon. Now, why this material is useful? Because in this material, I have covered only which is important to the December 2025 examination, and questions are selected based on the recent mock question papers. Recent mock question papers, there are 2 sets for CMAD. Those 2 sets I have taken, I have analyzed it based on the weightage which is given in those MQPs only. This material is being designed. Next, past trend analysis. Based on past trend analysis as well, I have taken this material. It will help you to revise faster the day before examination, as I have told you, and understand the pattern, how the questions are being asked, and it will build your confidence that okay bhai, ये मटेरियल लेंगे, बैठेंगे एग्जाम के पहले दिन और सब कुछ हो जाएगा. I hope it is clear. Now, will these questions be asked in this examination? Most important doubt, ma'am. Will sit with this material. Is it more than enough? Yes. Yes, the questions in this booklet can be tested in the examination. Will be tested. Not can be tested, will be tested in the examination. And Yes, the exam may also ask questions outside this booklet. I'll not tell that whatever question will be there in the question paper will only be there from this material. No. Out of this also the questions can be tested. But to get the exemption, to clear the CMAD paper with the most of the marks which you want in your examination, this material is enough. I hope it is clear. Will this marathon help you to score exemption? Yes, but if you follow the instructions and practice properly. I'm making it very clear, exemption is possible with this particular marathon and with this material, but you have to follow the instructions. Now, what are those? Use the exact terminology and keywords given in this particular booklet. Whatever answer it is, terminology is very much important and answer writing is very much important. Now, follow the same style of answer writing whatever I have given in this particular material. Study conceptually, not just memorizing everything. Understand and read rather than by hearting it. Practice writing at least a few answers every day. Whenever you have time, whenever you are allocating your schedule to CMAD, write the answers. If you're just revising it again and again, you will not be able to remember it. Write it down, then you will remember it. Revise super questions multiple times before the examination. Multiple times can be 2 times, 3 times or 4 times based on your schedule. But super questions have to be done at least twice. Smart questions, if you are revising it, it is more than enough. Now, how questions are categorized? As I've already told you, the questions are categorized as super questions and smart questions. Super questions are must learn questions and must practice questions. Whereas smart questions, if you are revising it, just reading it, it is enough. Additional tips, keep a notebook to write answers, which I usually tell to my students, to all the students, maintain a book and write it down. Mark high priority areas, which means if you are facing difficulty in any particular topic, mark it down and day before examination, you'll start your revision with that high priority area. Revise them again and again during the last week. Where you feel difficulty, you have to study that first. I might feel difficulty in management audit. You might feel difficulty in forensic audit. Both of our schedules can't be same, my dear. Prepare your own schedule. Think what you are not knowing and start the revision from that. I hope it is clear. Focus on understanding the logic behind each answer instead of memorizing it. Whatever I have told you, learn conceptually instead of by hearting it. I hope it is clear. So this is entirely about this particular PDF and what you have to do for the December 2025 examination. Now, coming to today's topics, what we are going to cover. First is basics of cost audit from section A, cost audit, and the second topic will be companies, cost records and audit rules 2014. Now, what questions we are going to cover? From basics of cost audit, I have taken 4 questions in which 3 questions are super questions and 1 question is a smart question. What will be the weightage of this basics of management audit? 7 marks. Now, coming to Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, super questions are 8 questions, whereas smart questions are 6 questions. Now, what is the weightage? Weightage is 20 marks. Now, many students will have the doubt, from where did I take this particular weightage? Is it from past and analysis? No. This is from the mock question paper which is given. Okay, from the recent mock question paper which is released by our institute, 2 sets. From that 2 sets, I have taken this particular weightage. From that weightage only, I have prepared this material which is important for you to learn for December 2025 examination. I hope it is clear. So this is everything about what we are going to cover today and in this particular marathon. I hope everything is clear. If you have any doubts, I'll give you 2 minutes of time. You can ask me in the chat box. If nothing doubts are there, then we'll move to the basics of cost audit first question. Ma'am, when we start part B marathon? What part B marathon? I didn't get you. This is the marathon. What is part B marathon? Is it about section B? Ma'am, after class you will share this material also, ma'am. This material is already shared in Telegram channel, dear. This material I've already shared in the Telegram channel. If you're asking about the weightage analysis, that is also shared in the Telegram channel. What about Super 50 questions, ma'am, which is already available on YouTube? Yes, that is also there for concepts. If you want to understand the concepts, if you want to learn from concept book, workbook and handwritten notes, you can watch that as well. First timer can watch now, ma'am. Deepak, yes, you can watch. If you are understanding it, you are a very brilliant student. If you're not understanding it, I'm really sorry. But I'll make sure that even a first time listener will understand my particular lecture. So you can watch it. Okay. मैम बस ad आ रहा है लाइव क्लास में भी ओ एडवर्टाइजमेंट आ रहा है I don't know Pankaj so okay I hope it is clear now we are moving on to our first question section A cost audit unit 1 basics of cost audit as I've told you we have super questions and smart questions sorry I'm in section B okay as I've told you per day 2 topics will be covered today we are going to cover these 2 topics next day which means tomorrow we'll be covering cost audit and an overview of cost accounting standards and third day we are going to cover section B management audit so third day will be management audit my dear hi ma'am I got 59 in June attempt just by seeing your videos I'm trying to get 80 in this attempt help us get it ma'am by just watching the marathon in June 25 attempt, if you have scored 59 marks, you have already revised it, you have already learned the subject, you are revising it to be the second time, 80 marks are for sure. If we study these concepts, it is more than enough for us to clear the exams. Yes, Madhu, you will be able to clear the exams. Ma'am, I haven't completed management audit, so marathon questions will be enough. Will be enough. If you haven't touched the management audit only, but if you are perfect with section A, section C and section D, then for management audit, this particular marathon will be enough. Me too got 56 marks, ma'am. Aravind Radhakrishnan. Thank you so much. If you are a repeater student, if you have already revised the subject once with my classes, either it could be marathon, either it could be superthon, whatever it is. If you have listened to my classes priorly and this is your second time listening to my classes, this time 80 marks is confirmed to you. For other students as well, 80 marks will be sure or exemption is sure. Okay, Titkokandi. Ma'am, in which Telegram group notes are available? In CMAD Telegram group. Okay, I haven't shared the link here. So if any of my student who is there in my Telegram channel, please paste the link in the chat box so that student can access it. Only hope for cost audit is your marathon, madam. Titan Gaming. Rest assured, I'm here, wife here. Okay. Okay. Without any delay, we'll start with our first question. Okay. I hope everyone is ready. Section A cost audit unit 1 basics of cost audit. Our first question is super question number 1. Describe the scope of cost audit. So in this particular basics of cost audit, our major concept was what is cost audit. So what is cost, what is audit, what is cost accounting, what is cost auditing. For cost accounting, what all we have and for cost auditing, what all we have. So this was the major idea what all it is covered in the basics of cost audit. Now, will all that will be tested in the examination? The answer is no. But to understand it, let's first give a quick recap of what is this basics of cost audit. Okay, now what is basics of cost audit? What does it mean by cost audit? What is cost? Nothing but the price which you are paying for something or the loss of something, which means if you're buying something, the price which you're paying for that is the cost, or else if you're not buying it, you're losing something, that will be your cost. Now coming to the audit. Audit is nothing but the verification of something. Now both cost audit is nothing but whatever cost, the price which you are paying for something or loss of something, for that you are maintaining an accounting. For that accounting, you are doing the verification which is called as audit. I hope it is clear. Now that is called as a cost audit. We have a definition for this cost audit which I tell to my students to definitely write in the examination. Now what does it mean by cost audit? Cost audit is an independent examination of what? Examination of what? Examination of cost statements, cost records, and other related information of an entity. For what purpose you are doing this particular examination? With a view to express an opinion thereon. These 3 points are very, very important. First, you have to write it when you are asking about the cost audit. Cost audit is an independent examination of cost statements, cost records, and other related information of an entity with a view to express an opinion thereon. So this is the definition of cost audit. I hope it is clear. Now, it refers to the detailed verification of correctness of costing techniques. Now, for what purpose we are doing this particular cost audit is, we are trying to verify the correctness of costing techniques, which means in the accounting, whatever techniques we have used, whatever standards we have used, whether we have used it correctly or not. To know the correctness of costing techniques, detailed verification is being done. That is called as cost audit. Not only costing techniques, but also costing systems and cost accounts. So detailed verification to know about the true and fair view or the correctness of costing techniques, costing system and cost accounts. It refers to the cost audit. I hope it is clear. Now, the third point, the primary objective of cost audit. When the cost audit was primarily starting, what was the primary objective of it? Is ensuring accuracy of cost data. Now, where will this cost data will be there? In the cost records and cost statements only this cost data will be there. Now, whatever data is there in this cost records and cost statements, to ensure that the data is accurate, which means without any mistakes, the data is there. Accumulate an exact computation of a cost of product, which means to verify whatever the cost which is there to that particular product is verified and it is worthful to that particular product. And how to compute, that computation also should be exact computation. However, the vast scope of cost audit works as a mirror of entities' performance. Now, how we are telling, it is the mirror of entities' performance. See, for example, I know what is my cost. I know what is my cost data. From this cost data, I'll be able to determine what will be my sales margin, which means I know that I am putting for my product the cost, which means I am expending 10 rupees. So how much I will sell that particular product? I'll not sell it for the 10 rupees. I need something as a profit, right? So I will sell it as a 15 rupees. So this 5 rupees is my margin. What is my selling price? 15 rupees. So with this cost data, I'll be able to decide my profit margin. I'll be able to decide my sale value as well. If I have my sale value, if I have my cost, won't will I be able to determine my performance, whether I have profit or whether I have loss? I'll be able to know that. So this is the way we'll be able to know about the entity's performance as well. I hope it is clear. So what was the primary objective of cost audit? To ensure the accuracy of cost data, which means whatever the data is there in the cost records and cost statements is accurate. Second, to accumulate and to decide that the exact computation of the cost of product. And however, the vast scope of cost audit works as a mirror of entities' performance. I hope these 3 points are clear to you. Now, coming to the main question which is asked, scope of cost audit. The wider scope of cost audit can help. Now, from the definition, we have understood that the cost audit is nothing but the verification of cost records, cost statements and other related information of an entity with a view to express an opinion thereon. But is it just about the verification of cost records and cost statements and to know whether there are any mistakes in that particular data? No. The cost audit scope is more than just a verification. Now, what is all included in that particular scope? Scope is nothing but the coverage. Okay. Now, we will able to know the control over element-wise cost, which means I'll be able to determine element-wise cost. Now, what are the elements which we have in the cost? Material, employment, overheads. Now, how much I am putting the cost to my materials? How much I am putting the cost to my labors? How much I am putting my cost to the overheads? Element-wise, I'll be able to know my cost, and by knowing that cost, I'll be able to control my cost if there is any wastage. If I'm expending more to labors, if I am able to reduce it, I'll reduce it. If I'm putting more to the overheads, I'll reduce it. If I'm putting more to the material, I'll reduce it. So I will have a control over element-wise cost. Next, it will help in determining the sale price and margin. As I've already told you, I know my cost. I'll be able to know how much I need a profit. I'll determine what is my sale price. So, cost audit will also help us to determine the sale price and margin. The third point, it will assist management in decision making. Sorry. Now, here in the third point, we have seen that cost audit works as an entity's mirror of entity's performance. Now, I am knowing my entity's performance. Now, what will management do? Management will take the decisions, right? Now, what kind of decisions will they take? If profit is there, okay. Next year, how much we have to increase our profit? If loss is there, what kind of decision we have to take to reduce that particular loss? If one product is there, then how many, whether we have to improve the product or whether is there any possibility to bring a new product, we can start a new project or not. These are the decisions which are taken by the management. Now, by doing this cost audit, the management will know about the entity's performance. By knowing the entity's performance, they will be able to take the decisions also. That is the third point. Next, setting of standards and budgetary controls. Now, in this particular financial year, I have expended the cost to be 10,000 rupees. Okay, assume that there is a company which has expended the cost to be 10,000 rupees. Now, I know that for this particular year, I have a cost of 10,000 rupees and I have a loss because I have expended 10,000 rupees. Now, what will I do? In the next year budget, I'll reduce the cost to increase my profit. This particular year, I have done the cost audit to know about my cost data, because of which I'll be able to do what? Budgetary control. I'll be able to put the standard setting as well. I hope it is clear. Next, minimizing the wastage. As in the first point itself, I have told you, we will be able to know about the element-wise cost. So, if there is any overspending in the element-wise cost, we'll be able to reduce it so that there will be minimization of wastage of expenses. I hope it is clear. Next, accuracy of inventory valuation. Now, whatever cost data is there, by looking into this cost data, I'll be able to identify. For example, I am having this much of profit. I am putting this much of cost. Now, whatever materials I need, I am purchasing the materials from the outside supplier. I have profit. If I am bringing that profit back, I am investing that into my company by bringing a new machinery. Now, what will happen? My cost will reduce for the next years because I'll not be taking the goods from the supplier, right? So, what happening here? We are having a new inventory. So, based on this cost data, we'll be able to decide whether we need a new inventory, and also we'll be able to know about the inventory valuation as well. I hope it is clear. Next, overall efficiency improvement of the entity, because we'll know about the entity's performance. Based on that, we'll be able to improve the entity's performance as well. So, this is the entire wider scope of cost audit. So, cost audit is not only to be considered as a compliance tool. Now, this particular term is very, very important for you to write in the examination, because in the particular unit 2, we have rules and we have forms. In this particular rules, we have, now this cost audit, we are learning about cost audit, whether all the entities have to go for cost audit, whether all the entities have to maintain cost records, have to maintain this cost data. Regarding all this, we will see in the unit 2. So, according to central government has given us some norms, some schedules. Based on that, they have given, if certain turnover and net worth limits are meeting, then those entities have to go for cost records maintenance and they have to go for cost audit. Which means if statutorily they have told us to mandatorily go for cost audit or cost records, it is nothing but a compliance tool. So here what they are telling is, cost audit is not to be considered as just a compliance tool, but the outcome is far reaching beyond compliance, which means we we will not do the cost audit just because government is telling us to do or statutory is telling us to do. No, by doing cost audit, we'll be able to know the control, we'll be having the control over element wise cost. It will help us in determining sale price and margin. It will help management and decision making. We'll be able to set the standards and we'll be able to do the budgetary control. It will help us to minimize the wastage. We will have the accuracy of inventory valuation and overall efficiency improvement of the entity. I hope it is clear. So this is the first question, which is describe the scope of cost audit. Now this has been tested in June 24 and also mock question paper of June 25 attempt. I hope it is clear. So if scope of cost audit question is given in your examination, what you have to write? First point will be your cost audit definition, and then you will refer what is cost audit. Then you will write what is the primary objective of cost audit, and then you will write about the wider scope of cost audit. Then last, which is important point, you will write cost audit is not just a compliance tool, but also it is beyond compliance. I hope it is clear. First question. Quickly in the chat box, is it clear? Do you have any doubts? Thank you so much, ma'am. Because of your revision marathon, I got 76 marks in cost audit in June 25 attempt. Thank you so much. Congratulations. मैम SPMDV का मैराथन भी आएगा का BCCA का? SPMDV मैराथन ऑलरेडी है शायद ना YouTube में. Thank you, ma'am. Because of you, I cleared my group 4 and first attempt with getting 59 marks in June 2025 attempt. Wow. First attempt, getting 59 marks by just watching my marathon. It is not just because of me, because you are also a brilliant student, yeah. Don't give assumptions to the students stating that you have just revised once, you have just watched my marathon and got the exemption. Everyone are blindly believing that if students are not getting it, they will get upset. Okay. I'm happy that you have got 59 marks in your first attempt by just watching my classes. I'm happy. But it is not just because of me. You have also done your hard work. These questions are enough for the exam purpose. Yes, enough. Muskan clear. Pankaj clear. Venkateshwar Rao clear, ma'am. Muskan. कल ही लिया था सर ने. या बीवी मैराथन है शायद. देखो एक बार. Okay. I hope it is clear. So this is our super question number 1. Now coming to super question number 2. What are the objectives of cost audit? Explain. Cost audit has both general and social objectives. Now coming to this objectives part, the question can be asked combinedly as objectives of cost audit, or the question can be tested as separate. What are the general objectives of cost audit? What are the social objectives of cost audit? The question can be asked like this as well. Now, this is your December 2025 mock question paper question as well. Tested in June 25 examination, in December 23, in December 24 and in December 25 mock question paper question is also there. Okay. Now, what are the objectives of cost audit? Explain. This can be a question, or else the question can be cost audit has both general and social objectives. Explain about it. Okay. Now, what does it mean by objectives? Which means for what purpose cost audit is being done. By doing this cost audit, what benefits do we have? That is called as objectives. Now, these objectives are categorized into two. One is called as general objectives and the other is called as social objectives. This question asked in June 25. It will repeat, ma'am. It can repeat. There is a myth stating that if question has been asked in June 25 attempt, it will not be asked in December 25 attempt, or if it is there in the mock question paper, it will not be there in the main question paper. No, nothing like that. If you are the person who is preparing this particular paper, if you want to put, he will put. That's it. It is not that June 25 they have given, in December 25 they will not be given. No, the questions have been asked in the previous attempts as well. So there is a chance of asking it. Okay. Now, where we are? Okay. The objectives are categorized into two. One is general objectives and the next is social objectives. Now, what does it mean by general objectives? Which means what kind of benefit the company will have or the entity will have if they are going for cost audit inside that particular entity. Which means inside that particular surroundings of that particular entity, what all benefits do the company will have? That is called as general objectives. Now, what does it mean by social objectives? By doing cost audit, how the society will also get benefited from that. Even though if it is not direct benefit, how indirectly the society will get benefit about it. Okay, so this is the general objectives and social objectives. General objectives within the entity, what are the benefits? Social objectives, what is external benefits as well. Next, general objectives. Verification of cost accounts with a view to ascertaining that these have been properly maintained and complied according to cost accounting system followed by the enterprise. Which means first general objective. For what purpose we are doing the cost audit? For verification of cost accounts. In the definition itself we have seen independent examination, nothing but verification of cost records, cost statements and other related information of an entity. Combination of cost records, cost statements and other related information of entity is the cost accounts. So, why we are doing it? For verification of cost accounts. For what purpose? With a view to ascertain that these have been properly maintained, whether all the cost accounts have been properly maintained and complied according to the cost accounting system followed by the enterprise. Now, for maintaining this cost accounts, which means whatever we have as cost records, whatever we have as cost statements and other related information of an entity, it doesn't mean that entity will maintain it as they want. Like a rough book, your whatever notebook will be there, the last page of your notebook, you'll write all the expenses, you'll write all the incomes. However you want, you will do it. No, we have a proper schedule to maintain it. That schedule is also been given to us in the particular whatever we stated as a statute. Okay, so this cost accounts have to be maintained properly and also they have to comply it based on the cost accounting system followed by the enterprise. So this is the first general objective. Next, ensuring that the prescribed procedures of cost accounting records rules are duly adhered to. Whatever prescribed procedures are there for that particular entity, for that particular cost records maintenance, whether everything is followed or not. Third, detection of errors and frauds. Now, first point is to check no errors are there, whether it is maintained properly, and here we'll check if there is any error is there or if any fraud has been made. I hope it is clear. Verification of cost of each cost unit and cost center wise. Now, what is this cost unit and what is this cost center? Now, what is cost unit? How we are measuring that particular cost, that is called as cost unit. Now, what is cost center? The cost center, which means we are putting the money into something, but the profit whatever we are getting, it is not the direct profit from that particular thing. For example, this cost center can be a product. Cost center can be a product, cost center can be a machine, cost center can be one plant, it can be a department, whatever it is. Now, the entity is putting the cost into that particular thing, but the profit which is there is not the direct profit which is coming. That is called as a cost center. Now, for example, we have a research and development department. Now, is any way research and development department related to production? Now, how the entity will get the profits? They will put the raw materials, they will get the finished goods. This finished goods will be sold in the market, they will get the profit. Simple. Now, R&D department is not anyway related to the production, but indirectly it helps the production to bring a new product or how the products are there in the market or how it can be enhanced. R&D is very important for any entity. Now, whether the company has to put the cost in this R&D, yes, they have to put the cost in the R&D, but is there a direct profit to the entity? The answer is no. Such a kind of cost which the entity is putting, but there is no direct profit to the entity, those kind of departments, those kind of products, those kind of anything is called as a cost center. So what is the general objective? By doing this cost audit, we'll be verifying the cost of each cost unit and cost center to ensure that these have been properly ascertained. I hope it is clear. Next, determination of inventory valuation. In the above scope also I have told you cost audit will help us to do the inventory valuation. Next, facilitating the fixation of prices of goods and services. In this scope also we have seen this particular point. We'll be able to know the cost. Based on that we'll be able to determine our sale price and margin. So we'll be able to fix the prices of goods and services. Periodic reconciliation between the cost accounts and financial accounts. By doing this cost audit, we will be knowing about the reconciliation as well. Ensuring optimum utilization of human, physical and financial resources of the entity. Whether all the resources which are available, whether the resources are being utilized optimally or not. That also we'll be able to identify by doing the cost audit. Next, detection and correction of abnormal loss of material and time. Now, what is abnormal loss? Which means a loss which we can't predict, the loss which cannot be defined, the uncertain loss. Okay, the sudden loss which we get is called as abnormal loss. Now, if there is any kind of abnormal loss of material and time, by doing this cost audit, we'll be able to identify that particular abnormal loss and for what reason this abnormal loss has been occurred, and we'll be able to correct that particular abnormal loss as well. Now, advising management on the basis of inter-unit or inter-firm comparison of cost records as regards the areas where performance calls for the improvement. Here we have seen that assist management in decision making. This is the lengthy point for that. That's it. Now, how the decision making will be done? They will do the comparison. Now, how they will do the comparison? Either inter-firm comparison, which means one department with the other department comparison will be done, or the comparison will be done with one company to the other company. Through that comparison, they'll get an analysis. By that analysis, they will understand where the improvement should be there. I hope it is clear. So, these are the general objectives points. What are those? Verification of cost accounts with a view to ascertaining that these have been properly maintained and complied according to the cost accounting system followed by the enterprise. Ensuring that prescribed procedures of cost accounting records are duly adhered to. Detection of errors and frauds. Verification of cost of each cost unit and the cost center to ensure that these have been properly ascertained. Determination of inventory valuation. Facilitating the fixation of prices of goods and services. Periodic reconciliation between cost accounts and financial accounts. Optimum utilization of resources. Detection and correction of abnormal losses. And advising management to go for inter-unit or inter-firm comparisons so that they'll be able to call for improvement. For what improvement? Performance improvement calls. I hope it is clear. All these are general objectives within the entity, how the cost audit is getting benefited. I hope it is clear. Now coming to the next, social objective, which means societally what are the benefits. Verifying whether the pricing of products is justified as per the product and quality are concerned. Now, by doing cost audit, we'll be able to determine the cost. From this cost, we'll be able to fix the prices of goods and services, which is there in our general objectives point. I hope it is clear. We will be able to fix the prices of goods and services. Now, by doing this cost audit, we'll not only be able to determine the fixation of prices, but also we will do the analysis whether whatever price which has put to the product, is it justifiable or not. For example, I am expending 10 rupees to my particular product, which means my cost which I have to put for producing a product is 10 rupees. Now, if I sell the product to be 50 rupees and will write in my book that my cost is 10 rupees, My profit I am putting to be 40 rupees and I'm selling that particular product to be 50 rupees. Is it justifiable? Will any person in the market buy that? No. If the same product is available in the market for 5 rupees and if you are selling that product to be 50 rupees, is it justifiable? The answer is no. So, this cost audit will help us to determine whether whatever price I have put, is it justifiable? Is it demandable in the market? If I put 25 rupees, will customer come and buy or not? To know that, cost audit is very much helpful. Verify whether the pricing of products is justifiable as per the product and quality are concerned. Next, removing the disparities, if any, in the pricing of products or services. As I've told you, in the market, the same product is available for 5 rupees and if you are selling it for 10 rupees, then there is a disparity of product price. Yes or no? Now, if you are a customer, will you buy the product for 5 rupees or will you buy the product for 10 rupees? You will obviously go for the 5 rupees product. Then whatever the 10 rupees product you are selling in the market will be in a loss. Yes or no? So whether there are any disparities, to know about that also cost audit will help us. Removing the disparities, if any, in the pricing of products or services. Next, looking into that, no cost based economic imbalance may occur in the products or services. See, for example, I am a manufacturer, or assume that you are a manufacturer. Okay. Now, you have been selling the products in India, within the India for past 10 years. And you are a very well versed in the marketing industry in entire India. Now, if you get the chance to globalize your products, will you go or not? If you got a chance of selling your market in the global market, will you sell or not? Why not? I have got the opportunity to sell my product in the global market. Obviously, anyone will do for it. Yes or no? Now, if we are selling our products in the outside country for reduced prices, which means, for example, if I am going for a mobile phone, and I am selling this mobile in the global market for 22,000 rupees. For 22,000 rupees, yes, there will be currency variations. We are not talking about currency fluctuations. I'm not dealing about SFM here. Okay, SFM will be handled by Ravi sir. He will take care of it. Okay, now we are only dealing in rupees. This is for an example. Okay, in the global market, I'm selling my product to be 22,000 mobile phone. But in that particular whatever the country I am selling, in that particular area, the same features mobile phone is available for minimum price to be 30,000 rupees. The same features are there to the mobile phone which I am selling and that country is also selling, but it is selling for 30,000 rupees and I am selling for how much? 22,000 rupees. Now, whether that government will accept it that I am going and selling my products there with the lowest prices to the minimum margin of that particular country only. The minimum margin which they are having is 30,000 rupees for a mobile phone. I am going below that minimum margin and selling my product to the 22,000 rupees. Then what they will do? They will think that I am dumping my products in that particular country. Yes or no? So here only there will be a concept of anti-dumping duty. Okay. So to avoid that, to know what is the minimum margin of that particular country, whenever you're going for a globalization of your products, to know that also cost audit will be helpful. Looking into no cost based economic imbalance may occur in the products or services when you're going for the global markets. I hope it is clear. Facilitating in the global market cost competitiveness of the product. When you're going for the global market, there is a cost competitiveness, which means your cost and their cost should match. There is a competitiveness. Next, ensuring the effective utilization of resources. Now, this effective utilization of resources is there both in social objectives as well as in general objectives. In general objectives, we are talking about the utilization of resources within the entity, which means whatever the material, labor and other resources which are available for producing the products, that resources we have to optimally utilize. That we are dealing as a topic, as a point in general objectives. Whereas, whatever the resources which are commonly available to the entity as well as the society, those resources also we have to utilize optimally. That is dealt in social objectives. I hope it is clear. So these are the general objectives and social objectives. I hope it is clear. So these are the general objectives and social objectives. Now, most students frequently ask me, ma'am, if question has been tested in the examination, do we have to write all the points of general objectives and all the points of social objectives? See, now how many points we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points in general objectives and 5 points in social objectives. If the question has been asked as the objectives of cost audit for 7 marks, then what you can write? First, you can write the definition of cost audit. Cost audit is an independent examination of cost statements, cost records, other related information of an entity with a view to express an opinion thereon. This will be a first point as a definition. Then you will write a point that cost audit has both general objectives as well as social objectives. Then you will write general objectives to be 5 to 6 points. How many points you remember? But 5 points are minimal points. You have to write 5 points at any cost. Okay. 5 to 6 points write in the general objectives. Write the 5 points of social objectives. This will be our answer if the question is about objectives of cost audit. If the question is about separately general objectives of cost audit, then the first point will be your cost audit definition. Then you will write the general objectives, all points if you remember. 10 points you have to learn it. If you remember, write 8 to 9 points. If you remember, write all the 10 points. Or else if you don't remember 1 or 2 points, it's okay, fine. 8, 9, 7 points, you have to write it now. Okay. Now, if only social objectives has been asked separately, then you have to bring your skills, answer writing skills. So within you have to bring that. Okay. If you have done your degree, then you will have that experience. You will write all the stories in your answer writing. Yes or no? But here we can't write that story writing. Then what we can do? We can write the related topic stories. Yes or no? So first, you will write the definition of cost audit and then you will write about the, it refers to whatever we have seen in the second point. It refers to the detailed verification of correctness of costing technique, costing systems, everything you will write. Then you will write what is the primary objective and then you will write a point to be. Cost audit has both general objectives and social objectives. If you want, you can also write it as what does it mean by general objectives, what does it mean by social objectives, and then at last you can go for social objectives. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now, whatever points it is there in this, you can incorporate all that points in any answer if the question is from basics of cost audit. I hope it is clear. So, this is why I have curated this particular material so that you will have the points in your hands. Okay. Whenever the question has been asked from any of these 4 questions, you can pick the point from any of the question and write it. But don't do this mistake. If objectives are asked, don't write about scope. Okay. When I'm saying about points, I'm saying about this points, not the main question which is tested. Okay. I hope it is clear. Is the recording available? Yes, it is available. Okay. I hope these 2 questions are clear. If it is clear, then give a thumbs up in the chat box or tell that it is clear. First 2 questions, is it clear? Guys, please be active in the chat box. Is it clear? First 2 questions, is it clear? We have discussed about scope of cost audit. We have discussed about objectives of cost audit. Clear, ma'am. Pujita, thumbs up. Prasanna, clear. Pratik, clear. Ravi, clear, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Divya, clear, ma'am. Hilda, yes, clear. Who is the student who has asked me that this is their first time? Are you understanding? Deepak, are you there? Are you understanding, Deepak? Good evening, ma'am, from Bhavya ma'am. Thank you, Bhavya ma'am. Good evening. Yes, madam. Okay. Okay. Now, we are moving on to our super question number 3. Good evening. Good evening, Rohan. Good evening, ma'am, from Bhavya ma'am class now. Thank you. Thank you. Even when you are there in your Bhavya ma'am class, you are not listening to Bhavya ma'am class and watching Parvathi ma'am's class. I'm glad. Thank you so much. So, if any of you students doesn't know, Bhavya ma'am is taking her marathon class in ICMAI main branch in Hyderabad branch. Okay. Yashwan, clear. Okay, done. Now we are moving on to our super question number 3. Third question is about the advantages of cost audit. Now, how all this question can be tested? Ma'am, we are in break. Okay, thank you. Now, super question number 3. How all this question can be tested? First, it can be asked that they describe the advantages of cost audit, or how cost information helps the organization and the management, benefits of cost audit, or what are the utilities and advantages of cost audit, explain. So the question can be in these 4 variations. Either they can directly ask about the advantages, or they can ask about the benefits of cost audit. They can ask about the cost information benefits, or they can ask about the utility and advantages of cost audit, or else about the cost information uses. Okay, whatever the question can be, the answer will be this. I hope it is clear. Now, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India defines the cost audit as. Now, when you are writing the normal definition which we have discussed, you need not to write anything. You can write directly as cost audit is an independent examination of cost statements, cost records, and other related information of an entity with a view to express an opinion thereon. If you are writing this as your definition, then you need not to write about anything. You can write directly. But if you are writing this to be the definition, then you have to mention that this is the definition which is given by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Now, what is the definition given? Both the definitions are same, nothing much different. Cost audit as a system of audit for the review, examination and appraisal. We are writing there as an independent examination. Here, there are different terms used for examination as review, examination, appraisal of what? Of cost accounting records. That is what we have seen there. And attendant information. Now, who is an attendant? If I am doing cost audit, who will be my attendant? Entity. Yes or no? Here we have a word called as other related information of an entity. But the definition which is given by our Institute of Cost Accountants of India, they have given it to be an attendant information. That's it. Terminology is different, meaning is same. A system of audit for the review, examination and appraisal of cost accounting records and attendant information required to be maintained by specified industries. As I've told you, cost records are not to be maintained by everyone. Cost records are maintained by specified industries. Now, where we are going to learn about those specified industries in Unit 2. I hope it is clear. Now, this has to be maintained by specified industries as mandated by the Applicable Companies Act and rules framed thereunder, which is our second unit, which is Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules. I hope it is clear. So, this is the definition. So, for cost audit, either you can go for the simple definition, or if you want to impress the evaluator, then you can write this as well. Okay, the meaning is same. Now, in the initial years, the cost audit was taken merely as a tool for price control mechanism. Now, what happened in the pre-independence era is that whenever this particular cost audit has first been introduced, okay, the government of India has given the contracts to the entities or industries in the cost plus basis. I hope it is clear. When this particular cost audit was first there in the pre-independence era. Okay, in the pre-independence era, what used to happen is government used to give contracts to the different industries on the cost plus basis. Now, what does it mean by cost plus basis? Which means whatever the cost which they are incurring will also be given by the government, and also whatever the additional commission is there because they are working under the government, that will also be given by the government. So this is called as cost plus basis. Now, when this particular contracts are given by the government to the entities, there was something called as price control mechanism. Now, what happened? Entities are there, government is there, government has given contracts to these entities. Now, in that particular era, the cost audit was not so tough. Whatever rules, stringent rules, whatever we have in today's generation were not there in that particular generation. That means the entity has to mandatorily maintain the cost records. They have to mandatorily go for the cost audit. No, we don't have all that because Act also we have revised Act. We have rules of 2014. Whatever rules we are studying now, those are the rules which has brought in 2014. Now, in pre-independence era, when we are talking, these rules were not there. So, what entities used to do? They used to do the defrauding, which means whatever the cost which they have incurred, they used to charge higher from the customers. Okay, whatever cost is there, they used to inflate the cost, take the money from the government, and they used to sell the products in the higher prices to the customers. Now, when this happened, there is a cost based imbalance in that particular market. Now, when there is a cost based imbalance, what customers did? Customers have gone to the government, and government has bought the price control mechanism because of this imbalance. And also in the pre-independence era, in that particular independence stage, what happened? There was an acute shortage of goods. Goods were also less. Now, when the demand is more, when the supply is less, obviously the price will be higher. Yes or no? But even when the prices are higher, the entities used to charge it to be much higher. So there was price imbalance, and also there was acute shortage of goods. So because of that, the government has started this cost audit. Cost audit was taken merely as a price control mechanism. Whatever the prices of products will be there, that will be fixed by the government. Now what we have as MRP system. Okay, that has been bought firstly in that particular thing. For consumers and infrastructure industries in India. So majorly in that particular era, the price control mechanism, cost audit was firstly started for consumers and infrastructure industries in India. The main objective of cost audit was to provide an authentic data to the government to regulate the demand and supply. So primarily the cost audit major part was to give the data to the government. Now, what is the demand? What is the supply? How much the cost is being charged to the customers? So, this was the data which necessaried by the government. So, cost audit was primarily bought as a tool of price control mechanism. For that price control mechanism, what entities has to do? They have to write the data, and that data has to be given to the government. That's it. I hope it is clear. Next. The liberalization of the economy and globalization has further enhanced the need for authentic data. As globalization was happening, as liberalization was happening, as the economy was growing higher and higher, many industries were starting inside the India. When more industries were starting, globalization was happening. This particular cost audit of just receiving the data from the entity was not necessary. Which means we need more beyond. The government need more information. Whatever the information the entity is giving, it is not sufficient. Then, what government did? Government has started, bought an expert committee. The expert committee formed by the government of India to study the cost audit scenario, which means what is current cost audit scenario? What industries are coming under this, and what kind of industries are maintaining the data? And which industries are giving us data? To know about this, the government has appointed as an expert committee. cost audit scenario in the country. This particular expert committee has highlighted the following benefits of cost information. Now, how this cost information is important and how they have to give this particular information in the cost audit. Regarding that, this expert committee has highlighted the points, which is the answer for this particular question. How cost information helps the organization and management. I hope it is clear. Now, cost information use. With this cost information, what is the benefit? It will enable the organization to structure, understand and communicate the cost with the stakeholders. We will be able to know what is the cost structure of the entity. We'll be able to understand how the costs are being measured, how the costs are being recorded and how the costs are being taken care, which means how the costs are being charged to each and every cost element. We'll be able to understand that, and based on that understanding, we'll be able to communicate it to the stakeholders as well. So this is the first use of cost information. Second, assessing performance. Costing is vital for evaluating the organization performance. This is what we are seeing in question number 1 as well as in the question number 2. By knowing the cost, I'll be able to know what is my sale price. From that sale price, I'll be able to determine what is my profit margin. From that profit margin, I'll be able to determine what is the entity's performance. That is what it is there here. We'll be able to know about the organizational performance and also stakeholder and shareholder value. Now, from this profits only, we'll determine what is the value of shareholder or the stakeholder. And operational efficiency, how effectively the operations are running inside the entity. With this cost information, we'll be able to know about everything. What all? We'll be able to know about the organizational performance. We'll be able to know about the shareholder value. We'll be able to know about stakeholders value and also about the operational efficiency. It provides insights into the resource efficiency, how optimally the resources are being utilized, whether there is any waste management, minimization of wastage is there or not, and allocation policies, how the costs are being allocated to different departments or different units. I hope it is clear. Next, scope of costing covers products, process and resource related information across the organization functions and value chain. This particular costing will not do this particular cost information, or we will not record the information of cost only for one single product. No. For process, for product, for resource related information across the functions and the value chain. The entity's information will be recorded. It helps to appraise the actual performance against the strategies, which means what is our budget, what is my actual cost which was incurred, how much we have estimated our profit to be, what is our real time profit. To know about that, to have that comparison, this cost information will help us. Next, it will also help us in the decision support. Effective costing supports both a regular and non-routine decisions. This cost information will help us in routine decisions and also non-routine decisions. By meeting customer expectations and profitability targets. From this cost information, we'll be able to know what is the customer expectation, which means we will put the cost, we will put the profit, we will sell the product. Now, if this product doesn't fetch the profit in the market, we will again do the analysis of what is the problem, why the product is not being sold in the market. Yes or no? We will do the survey. Through that survey, we will know about the customer expectations. So, cost information will also help us in meeting the customer expectation, and also not only we will do the customer satisfaction, but also we will determine about our profitability target. Both customer expectation will also meet and also will have a profitability target. Assisting in continuous improvement of resource utilization. More optimally will utilize the resources. Guiding product mix and investment decisions. This is non-routine decision. Okay, what are the routine decisions? To know about the customer expectation, to increase the profitability targets, to go for the continuous improvement of resource utilization. These three are the regular or routine decision making. Now what comes to non-routine decision making? With this cost information, I can decide about the product mix, whether I have to go for product A, whether I have to go for product B, or I have to eliminate both product A and product B and go for product C, whether I have to eliminate this particular process or I have to continue with that particular process. All these products mix decisions I'll be able to take from this cost information. Not only that, I'll be able to determine about the investment decisions as well. So all these are the cost information advantages or benefits. Now, data consistency. Working from a common data source ensures reconcilable output reports for different audiences. Now, this particular cost information is there. This cost information will help each and everyone. So this cost information is acting as a common data source, which means from this cost information, the production manager will know how much cost is there, what is the budget, and how much he can utilize for raw materials, how much he can utilize for the production purposes. So production manager also can use this cost information. Now coming to the management, management can also use this particular cost information for decision making. And coming to the public, whoever the investors are there, investors also can come and look into this cost information and know about whether the investment can be done or not done. Yes or no? So this cost information is acting as a common data source which can be utilized by everyone. Output reports for different audiences, which means what are the different audiences? Employees, customers, whoever the working staff are there, and the management. These are nothing but the different audiences. I hope it is clear. So these are the benefits of cost information. I hope it is clear. Now, so this is about the cost information uses. As per International Federation of Accountants, cost audit help to ascertain whether an organization cost accounting records are so maintained as to give true and fair view of cost of production, processing, manufacturing, and mining of product. So far whatever we have seen this part. So far whatever we have seen here, this is about the cost information. And from here, whatever we are seeing, this is about the cost audit. What are the advantages of cost audit or benefits of cost audit? Okay. Now, cost audit will help us to ascertain whether an organization cost accounting records are giving true and fair view or not. Now, this true and fair view is giving about what? About the cost of production, about the cost of processing, about manufacturing, and about the mining of product. Therefore, cost audit can be used to benefit the management, consumers, and shareholders. So, this cost audit will help whom? It will help the management, it will help the consumers, it will also help the shareholders by helping to identify the weaknesses in the cost accounting system. We'll be able to identify the weakness in our cost accounting system to help drive down the cost by detecting wastage and inefficiencies. We'll do the waste minimization. Cost audits are also of assistance to government in helping to formulate tariff and taxation policies. This particular cost information and this particular cost audit will also help the government to fix the taxes for that particular entity. I hope it is clear. So this is about the super question number 3. If they ask about advantages of cost audit, or if they ask about the information, cost information helps to organization and management, or else it asks about the benefits of cost audit, or else about the utilities and advantages of cost audit, this will be our answer. So first you will write the definition. Here when it comes to definition, you can write the simple definition which is given here, or if you want, then you can write the definition which is given by the Institute of Cost Accountants of India as well. Then you will write about these 2 points, which is in the start of cost audit, what was the scenario? You will write that. Then expert committee has been formed by the government. That expert committee has gave us this benefits of cost information. You'll write that point, and these are the benefits of cost information. After that, you'll write about the benefits of cost audit. Now, this benefits of cost audit has been given by whom? International Federation of Accountants. I hope it is clear. So, this is our question number 3. मैम मैंने आपका सुपर 25 देखा है. आई ऑल्सो हैव पीडीएफ. वो भी करे या नहीं दिसंबर के लिए, या फिर बस ये किया तो भी होगा? इसमें प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस नहीं है. जो भी आप बात करें सुपर 25 क्वेश्चंस का, वो सब प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस का है. इसमें सब कुछ थियरी होगा, प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस नहीं है इसमें. आई होप इट इज क्लियर. नाउ दिस इज सुपर क्वेश्चन 3. I hope super question 3 is also clear. So these are the 3 main important super questions from basics of cost audit. First question is scope of cost audit. Second is objectives of cost audit. And third is about the cost audit advantages or advantages of cost information. I hope it is clear. Now, smart question number 1. What is the genesis of cost audit? Now, coming to this genesis. Genesis is nothing but the background of cost audit, history of cost audit. Okay, not the background, history of cost audit. Now, when it comes to genesis of cost audit, this question is not have been tested so far in the examination, or else this question haven't been tested in 2016 syllabus, not tested in 2022 syllabus as well. Now, when it not being tested, then why are you giving us in smart questions, ma'am? Because this question is very, very important for MCQs. Okay. So, to make you clear that whatever questions are there in this particular material will help you to write the MCQs as well as the theory questions. And also it will help you in some part of practical question as well. Okay. Okay. Now, genesis of cost audit, history of cost audit. History of cost audit in India. In the mid-1950s, corporate frauds in Dalmia Jain companies led to the formation of Vivian Bose Commission, followed by Datta Commission and Daftari Sastri Committee. Now, in this particular previous question, we have seen in the initial years, in the pre-independence era, when the government gave contracts to the industries in the cost plus basis, what happened? There was some cost imbalance which has happened. Not only that, when globalization and liberalization was happening, many industries were coming into the India. In that particular period, we doesn't have the stringent rules of cost records and cost audit. So, because of which, the fraudulent cases have been increasing day by day in that particular period. The main case was in 1950s. Okay, in the mid-1950s, there was a famous case, which is Dalmia Jain Company's case. Now, what did the Dalmia Jain companies do? They have done many frauds. Firstly, they have manipulated the share prices. Secondly, they have diverted companies' funds for personal usage. Third, they have created the false accounts. They have false stated the accounts and used the shell companies to hide the financial transactions. And fifthly, they have done the tax evasion. All these manipulations has been done by the Dalmia Jain companies. Now, how easily they were able to do all these particular frauds? Just because the cost audit rules were not so mandatory and these cost audit rules were not so stringent in that particular period. So, because of this fraudulent case, the government wanted to know where the government was lacking behind. Why there is this kind of frauds happening in the market or in the particular area. So for that, the government has appointed Vivian Bose Commission. The first commission which has been appointed is Vivian Bose Commission. Remember, it will be asked in the MCQs. Okay. First, it is Vivian Bose Commission, followed by Datta Commission, and then followed by Daftari Sastri Committee. So 2 commissions and 1 committee has been formed by the government to analyze about the cost audit and why frauds are being happening in the market. Next, these committees identified the weaknesses in the financial accounting, audit systems and corporate disclosures. So what happened? There are weakness. Not only weakness in the cost information. About recording the information, there is a weakness.
About disclosing the information, there is a weakness. About maintaining the financial accounting, whatever we call it as profit and loss account, balance sheet, in that also there is a problem, weakness is there. So they have identified it and they have recommended a more effective system of cost accounting and cost audit. So, during the early phase of industrial development, government policies of permits and licensing due to resource shortages further strengthen the need for cost audit. As I've told you, when there is acute shortage of goods, the government has bought the permits and licensing, which means which industries will have the licensing and the permit to produce that particular good or to sell that particular good has been stringently brought by the government, which means all the industries have to have the licensing, they have to have the permit for producing the goods or selling the goods. Okay. Now, coming to the cost audit regulations evaluation. Firstly, in the 1965, cost audit was firstly introduced in India through Section 233B in Companies Act 1956, and cost audit was first cost audit and Section 2091D cost records maintenance. So, in 1965, through Companies Act 1956, the first cost records and cost audit law has been passed. Okay. About the cost records, it is specified in Section 2091D, and about cost audit, it has been specified in Section 233B. Then, during the phase of 1965 to 2008, what happened is, even though in the law itself, in the Companies Act itself, we have brought the rule stating that this is about the cost audit, this is about the cost records, they have to maintain it. Even though in this particular period, 1965 to 2008, only 44 industries bought under the cost audit on a company specific basis, which means in whatever rules they have bought, only 44 industries were covered. Rather, industries, they are not taking up that particular law, they are not following that particular law which has been bought. Now, in 2008, the government again thought, why everyone are not taking the law which I have given? In the Companies Act itself, we have bought the cost records and cost audit related information. Even though why everyone are not following it? So, in 2008, government has bought an expert group formed to review the cost accounting system. Again, in 2008, they have bought an expert group. In 2009, this expert group had analyzed everything and gave the report. Expert group submitted its report to the government. Then, in 2011, government thought that if I bring the law, no one will follow it. If I am giving a thing like, okay, if you want to follow it, follow it. If you don't want to follow it, don't follow it. If I give it in a free way, then no one will follow it. So, in 2011, government has bought a mandatory thing. You have to compulsorily follow it. Mandatory cost audit for manufacturing, mining and processing companies based on turnover and net worth. Mandatory also for not all the companies, only for manufacturing, mining and processing companies. This also has been bought under the Companies Act 1956. Compliance certification required. They have to comply this particular thing and also they need to have a compliance certificate as well. Next, in 2014, what happened? New Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014 issued under the Companies Act 2013. Priorly, in Companies Act 1956, all these laws were there. When Companies Act has been refined in 2013, these rules have also been refined and it has been bought as new Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. I hope it is clear. Now, this is about the history of cost audit. These years are very, very important. You have to remember this 44 industries as well. This is also one of the MCQ. Next, coming to the history of Cost Accountants of India, which means the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, only 3 years. Firstly, when it is formed? In 1944, it has been firstly formed. And how it is formed? It is formed as a limited company. Institute of Cost Accountants of India was formed under the Companies Act 1913 as a limited company. Firstly, it has been started as a company. Then in 1959, ICMAI established under the Cost and Work Accountants Act 1959. Separate statute has been bought. Then in 2012, ICWAI, which was priorly called as Cost and Work Accountants, has been renamed to Institute of Cost Accountants of India, which is ICAI or ICMAI. I hope it is clear. So 1944, 1959 and 2012. So these are the years which you have to remember for the Institute of Cost Accountants of India history. I hope it is clear. So these are the 4 questions, which are 3 super questions and 1 smart question, which we have covered. This is done, 7 marks. I hope it is clear. So this is from the basics of cost audit. Is everything clear so far? Guys, is everything clear? Do you have any doubts? Okay, in group you are sending the messages. Huh? You want me to send the entire marathon notes. Actually, I thought of sharing it prior to this marathon live itself, but because of my health constraints as well, I was not being able to complete the entire booklet in a one go. But I assure, at least by today and tomorrow, I'll share the entire PDF so that you'll take the printout. Okay? Ma'am, when you will take MCQ session, could you please clarify about that? Maybe at the end of November. Pujita, yes ma'am, clear. Okay. Thank you so much. So what we'll do, we'll take a just 5 minutes of break. It's 4:35. Live will not be stopped. Live will be there. Just 5 minutes. I'll just off my camera. If you want to take the break, you can go to washrooms. You can go get your water bottle. You can get your coffee, snacks, whatever you want. You can bring that. Or you can sit and revise. If you have that determination, then sit and revise whatever we have seen. The 4 questions, you can revise it. Okay. Just 5 minutes, revise, or you can go for a break. I'll be there here only. If you have any doubts, then you can give me in the chat box. 5 minutes. We'll again start with Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014 by 4:40. Okay. Prasanna, ma'am, எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்க்கும் எப்பவும் MCQ போடுவீங்களா? Yes. MCQ sessions எக்ஸாம்க்கு முன்னாடி யூஸ்வலாவே நம்ம BCCA சேனல்ல வரும். ஸோ இந்த அட்டம்ப்ட்க்கும் மோஸ்ட் ப்ராபப்லி MCQ வீடியோஸ் இருக்கும். ஸோ நீங்க கவலைப்பட வேண்டாம், MCQ வீடியோஸ் வரும், எல்லா சப்ஜெக்ட்க்குமே வரும். ஒருவேளை MCQ வீடியோவா போடலனாலுமே MCQ புக்லெட் கொடுத்துருவாங்க. Even though this is a 100% English marathon live class, many students are there from different languages. I only know 4 languages, which is Tamil, Telugu, Hindi and English. Now, there are 48 students in live. Just quickly tell me from which state you are and which language you are from. Are you guys there, or did everyone put the live and go? Ma'am, in chapter 2 CA's rules are given. We have to do that also for theory. Yes. In chapter 2 cost accounting standard rules. Yes. Just wait for 2-3 minutes. We'll go to chapter 2 of companies cost records and audit rules 2014. Then you'll understand what kind of questions are being asked and how you have to write it. Mahinder, hi ma'am, watching live from Bhavya ma'am law class. Hello Mahinder, how's your law class going? Kirtana Gopi law marathon varuma ma'am. Yes, law marathon kudiye seekirame varapod YouTube la. Raghava Kadapa Telugu, Rajendra Delhi, Ravi Vijayawada Telugu, Pooja Kumari Bihar, Bhojpuri Hindi English. Wow, I don't know Bhojpuri. I'll learn from Pooja. Pooja, be my tutor for Bhojpuri. Unnati, Dhanbad, Jharkhand. Okay, I hope you know Hindi. Aravind Radhakrishnan, Tamil. Janardhan Reddy, Kannada. Shivakumar from Tamil Nadu. I'm from Tamil Nadu too. Yashwant, Telugu. Prasanna, okay ma'am, thank you. Paul, Kolkata. Okay. Nayak, Odisha. Wow. North, South, East, West, everything is being covered. Mahendra, it's going well, mama. Why it's only going well? I expected something as super, fantastic, marvelous, mind-blowing, amazing. All those words I expected. From Surat, Gujarat, Hindi, Gujarati, basic English. Why basic English, Deepak? Okay. Surat is the best place. Pooja Kumari, definitely, ma'am. Thank you, Pooja. Ma'am, I also want to learn your language. Tamil language, ah? Come. Come to Tamil Nadu. We will welcome everyone. We will make everyone learn. Namrata is from Pune. Wow. Pooja Kumari, when we will meet? You can come anytime. Come to Tamil Nadu. Come to my home. I'll be there in my home. You can come. Or whenever we have any meet. Now, after exams, you will get qualified. You will get exemptions in my subject. We will put a fest. BCCA fest will have fest. In that fest, you come. I'll talk proudly about all my students. You have attended my marathon, live marathon, and everyone had got exemptions. I'll talk proudly about it. Study well, pass, get the exemption, come to BCCA fest. We will meet. Okay, it's 4:43. We will resume the class. Okay. So we are done with basics of cost audit. I hope everything is clear from unit 1, basics of cost audit. Now, We are moving on Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. Ramesh Babu from Hyderabad. Thanks for your live marathon, ma'am. You're welcome. Pooja Kumari, how are you, sweet mama? Thank you, Pooja. Thanks. Deepak, मैम आप पेपर सेटर तो नहीं है ना? नहीं दीपक, अगर मैं ही पेपर सेटर होती मैं पेपर ही दे देती ना. सॉरी. नहीं, मैं पेपर सेटर नहीं हूँ. जो बोलते हो वही से आता है. क्या है मैम, हम ये विद्या दे दो. नहीं, वो मेरा 8th सेंस है. ओके, everyone will have 6 senses. I have 8th sense. From that 8th sense I am giving the paper to you. Okay. Okay, jokes apart, we'll resume the class. Now we're moving on to Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. In this we have super questions, 8 super questions, and smart questions, 6 smart questions we have. Weightage of this particular unit will be 20 marks according to the mock question paper. Combination of MCQs as well as practical and theory, 20 marks. Okay, Namrata laughing. Ha 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 ha. Don't be afraid. Okay. Now, we're starting with our Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. First, in this particular Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, we have rules and we have forms. Okay. Now, coming to the rules, we have 6 rules. Coming to the forms, we have 4 forms. Okay. This is the entire thing what we learn in this particular Unit 2, Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. Now, before moving on to this particular Companies, Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, I usually talk about Section 148 to my students. Okay, Section 148. Thank you, ma'am, for your marathon from Vijayawada. Thank you so much. Now, we have something called as Section 148. Now, what does this Section 148 tell us about? Section 148 talks us about the central government to specify to certain companies that they have to include about the related information in their cost accounts. Okay, so that has been dealt in Section 148. Now, why the Section 148 is important? To know about this particular cost records and audit rules, we need to know about Section 148. Now, if you have my capsule notes, then you can see my capsule notes. But even though if you have any book, you can see from that Section 148. Now, what does this Section 148 tell us about? Firstly, it tells that central government has power. Central government has power to give order to certain class of companies. Now, what is this certain class of companies? We will know in a while. Okay. Now, for this certain class of companies, the central government can give an order. Order of what? To include in their books of accounts. To include in their books of accounts the related information of utilization of material, labor and other items of cost. Okay, how they are utilizing this particular items of cost? They have to include that kind of information in that books of accounts. This also for not all the entities but for specified entities. This order can be given by the central government. How central government can give the order? Because the power to the central government has been given by Section 148 of Companies Act 2013. So, Companies Act 2013, Section 148 gave power to the central government. From that power, the central government can order to certain specified class of companies to include in their books of accounts about the related information of other items of cost. I hope it is clear. Now, the second point is central government, not only that it may give the order, but also central government, if it is of the opinion to do so, it may direct the manner of conducting the cost audit as well. Manner of conducting the cost audit as well. So, firstly, central government can give the order of maintaining the information. Then, central government can also give the manner of conducting the cost audit, which means how the entities have to do the cost audit as well. This is given under the 148 subsection 1. This is given under the 148 subsection 2. Now, in the 148 subsection 3, central government can specify the manner of conducting the cost audit, right? Now, who will do the cost audit? Cost audit has to be done by the cost auditor. Now, who will be the cost auditor? Cost auditor can be only a cost accountant in practice. Only a cost accountant in practice can become a cost auditor. Any other auditor of a company cannot become a cost auditor, which means if he is a statutory auditor or if he is an valuation officer, if he is any other auditor, he cannot become a cost auditor. Only a cost accountant in practice can become a cost auditor. Now, when it comes to cost accountant in practice, it can be individual, it can be a firm, it can be an LLP. Okay, so cost auditor should be a cost accountant in practice, can be an individual, can be a firm, or can be an LLP. Now, who will appoint a cost auditor? Board of directors of the company will have the authority to appoint the cost auditor. Okay, I hope this is clear. This has been dealt in section 148 subsection 3. I hope it is clear so far. Next, 148 subsection 4 tells that whatever audit which is done as per section 148 shall be in addition to the audit which is done by the 143. Now, what is the audit which is done under 143? Other audit. Now, whatever audit which is done, financial audit which is done as per section 143, additional to that 148 section has to be followed. I hope it is clear. Now, whatever this cost auditor who has been appointed is there, for this cost auditor, we have qualifications, we have disqualifications, we have rights, we have duties, and we have obligations. But for this qualifications, disqualifications, rights, duties, and obligations, we doesn't have a specific section which talks only about the cost auditor, which means only about the qualifications of cost auditor, disqualifications of cost auditor, rights of cost auditor, duties of cost auditor. We doesn't have a specific section for that. But what this section 148 told us in 148 subsection 5 is that whatever the provisions which are applicable to financial auditor, whatever provisions which are applicable to the financial auditor will equally be applicable to the cost auditor. Okay, so this has been dealt in section 148 subsection 5. I hope it is clear. Next, after appointment of cost auditor, within 30 days, what they have to do? Within 30 days of appointment of cost auditor, the company has to intimate it to the central government about the appointment of the cost auditor. Then after that, cost auditor will be appointed. He will verify the cost records and cost statements. At last, he will give the cost audit report. This cost audit report, he has to submit to whom? Who is appointing the cost auditor? Board of directors. So this cost audit report will also be submitted to the board of directors. I hope it is clear. After receiving the cost audit report from the cost auditor, board of directors, which means the company, has to file that cost audit report to the central government. Board of directors, which means the company, has to file the cost audit report to the central government within 30 days of receipt of that particular cost audit report. You need not worry about any of this. These provisions will discuss in the question. I have a question. You need not worry about it. I hope it is clear. Next, after that, after filing this cost audit report, if central government wants any other additional information, then central government may ask for the additional information and the company has to provide that additional information. That is also given there. After that, in section 148, subsection 8, we have penalty provisions, which means if default has been occurred by a company or an officer, then they will be punishable under section 147 subsection 1. If the default has been committed by a cost auditor, company or an officer, 147 subsection 1. If the default has been occurred by the cost auditor, then the punishment will be under 147 subsection 2 to 147 subsection 5. It is not and, it is 2. 147 subsection 2 to 147 subsection 5. This will be asked in the MCQs. Okay, I hope it is clear. So this is important. Remember it. If you want it, note it down. This will be asked in the examination. I hope it is clear. No need to worry if you haven't got any of these provisions which I have discussed in 148. After completion of class, I'll share the notes which is there of section 148 in the Telegram channel. You can revise it. Okay, I hope it is clear. Okay, so this is about section 148, which we discussed before entering into the topic of companies, cost records and audit rules 2014. Now, our main questions. Okay, now coming to super question number 1. As I've told you, we have rules. In these rules, we have 6 rules. Okay, rule number 1 talks about the title and commencement. Title and commencement. Now, what is the title? Title is nothing but the company's cost records and audit rules 2014. Now, what is the commencement? It has been commenced from the 2014. Okay. So, this is rule number 1. Rule 1 is not so important. So, no need to worry about it. Now, coming to rule 2. Rule 2 talks about the definitions. Rule 2 talks about the definitions. Now, one of the definition which has been tested in the examination as a question is this particular super question number 1. Okay. They have asked about the cost records definition. In these definitions, we have definitions about cost records, cost audit, cost accountant in practice, books of accounts. Okay. In rule 2, we have definitions. In definitions, we have about Act. We have our Customs Tariff Act heading. This Act, Customs Tariff Act heading is not so important. Next, cost accountant in practice. Who can become a cost accountant in practice? If the CMA holding a valid certificate of practice and he is deemed to be in practice, then they will be called as a cost accountant in practice. It includes firm, LLP and individual, which I have already told you. Next, cost auditor. Who is a cost auditor? What is a cost auditor report? What is cost records? From this only, this particular first question has been tested. Okay. Next, there are other definitions which are not so important. From rule 2, what definitions are important? Cost records definition, cost accountant in practice definition. These 2 definitions are important. Now, coming to the first definition, cost records. Okay. Question, what are books of accounts as per the Companies Act 2013? Do cost records become part of books of accounts? This is the main question which has been tested in the examination. Now, what they are asking, what does it mean by books of accounts? First, books of accounts and cost records as per section 2 subsection 13 of Companies Act 2013. Books of accounts include records related to money transactions, which means receipts and expenditures. Second, sales and purchases of goods and services, assets and liabilities, financial position of the company, and then cost records, which are prescribed under section 148 for specific class of companies. I have told you about the section 148, about that section. In that section 148, whatever the central government has told to maintain, those cost records money transactions information, sales and purchases information, assets and liabilities information. About all this information, if we are recording in a one place, that particular record is called as books of accounts. I hope it is clear. Now, section 148 of Companies Act 2013 allows the central government to mandate cost audit for specified companies. As I have told you just now, section 148 gave power to the central government to maintain books of accounts or to specify the manner of conducting the cost audit. Section 148 of Companies Act 2013 allows the central government to mandate the cost audit for specified companies. As per Rule 2, subsection E of Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, Rule 2 talks about definitions. Rule 2 talks about definitions, and in Rule 2, E point talks about the cost records definition. So many students who ask me, ma'am, we also have to write it in the examination that it is from point E. If you remember, write it down. If you don't remember, write it as Rule 2. Rule 2 is very important. You have to definitely write the Rule 2. As per Rule 2 of Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, cost records refer to the books of accounts related to material, labor and other cost components as applicable under section 148. So in cost records, we have a definition stating that cost records are nothing but books of accounts. Which means in books of accounts, we have information of what? Money transactions, sales and purchases, assets and liabilities and cost records. Yes or no? Related to material, labor and other cost components. So, do cost records become part of books of accounts? The answer is yes. Thus, cost records are part of books of accounts for companies falling under the purview of section 148. So, this is one of the super question which has been tested in the examination from the Rule 2 definitions. I hope it is clear. Okay. Now, what is Rule 1? Rule 1 is title and commencement. What is Rule 2? Rule 2 is definitions. From that Rule 2 definitions, we have seen one of the definition which talks about cost records. I hope it is clear. Now, coming to the next. Super question number 2. Analyze the key requirements for maintenance of cost records. So, here the question is about maintenance of cost records under Cost Accounting Records Rules 2014 and list the major types of records to be maintained by the company. This is your mock question paper, December 2025 attempt mock question paper. Okay. Firstly, what they are asking? They are asking about the maintenance of cost records. Now, where do we read about maintenance of cost records? First, in rules, rule number 1 talks about title and commencement. Okay, rule 1 talks about title and commencement. Now, rule 2 talks about what? Definitions. Rule 2 talks about definitions. Now, rule 3 talks about applicability of cost records. Rule 3 talks about applicability of cost records. Now, rule 4 talks about applicability of cost audit. Rule 4 talks about applicability of cost audit. And now, rule 5 talks about maintenance of cost records. Maintenance of cost records. And rule 6 talks about cost audit. So, these are the 6 rules which we have. Okay. Now, whatever question we have seen here, the question is asked about what? Maintenance of cost records under the Cost Accounting Records Rules 2014. And list the major type of records to be maintained by the company. Now, under the Company's Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, the requirements are relating to applicability and maintenance of cost records are mainly covered under. Applicability of cost records are covered under Rule 3, whereas maintenance of cost records are being covered under Rule number 5. So, applicability is covered under Rule 3. Maintenance of cost records is covered under Rule 5. I hope it is clear. Now, what is Rule 3? Applicability of cost records. Rule 3 specifies which companies must maintain cost records. Cost records must be maintained by all companies engaged in regulated sectors. In my concept book, you will have a big list of table which shows about regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors. Is it important to study the table? Yes, at least once. At least once or twice. Go through the table. Just do a book reading. Okay, what all names are there? Just see that, which is very important. Okay. Now, all companies which are engaged in the regulated sectors, example, electricity, petroleum, medicines, telecommunication, etc. listed in table A. Many students get confused. Either it can be asked in the examination as table A, called as regulated sectors, or item A, called as regulated sectors, or directly they can ask as regulated sectors. Okay. Table A, item A, regulated sectors. Three mean the same. Next, companies operating in non-regulated sectors. Machinery, automotive, textiles, chemicals, milk powders, pesticides, everything is covered under non-regulated sectors. Table B, item B. Okay. Cost records must be maintained by companies engaged in regulated sectors or companies operating in non-regulated sectors. The rule applies only if the company has overall turnover of more than or equal to, don't forget it is more than or equal to 35 crores in the immediate preceding financial year. More than or equal to is very, very important. Immediate preceding financial is very, very important. And we are talking about turnover. That also overall turnover. Overall turnover should be more than or equal to 35 crores in the immediate preceding financial year. And it applicable to all units, all branches, whether it is a domestic company or a foreign company. Okay, all units and branches, whether it is a domestic company, whether it is a foreign company, whether it is a company which is having a regulated sector products, whether it is a company having a non-regulated sector products, if its overall turnover from the immediate preceding financial year is more than or equal to 35 crores, then that company has to maintain cost records. I hope it is clear. Certain exemptions exist. Even though we have all this, we have exemptions. What? First, foreign company with only a license office in India. Now, what does it mean by license office? Which means no production is happening. There are no supply of goods. There are no purchase of goods in that particular office. Now, what is that office made for? Only as a mediatory office, which means there is one party in India, there is the other party in the foreign country. Okay. From this foreign country, whatever the company A is there, see, for example, company A is there and company B is there. This company A is Indian company and this company B is a foreign company. Okay. Now, whatever the transactions which are happening, whatever the business which is happening, it is happening in the company A and company B. Now, this company A and company B are working under the same project. Now, whatever the transactions, whatever the dealings which are happening between the company A and company B, to have the dealings, for having a communication portal, one office will be there as a mediatory office, which is called as a liaison office. Okay. So, in this liaison office, no production will be done, no transactions will be done, nothing will be done. It is only a mediatory office. Okay. If a foreign company is having a liaison office in India just to deal transactions with another company, which is an Indian company, then for this liaison office company, cost records need not be maintained because no transactions are happening. No. In this liaison office, no business is happening, no transactions happening. What cost records will be maintained? So, for this liaison office, for this foreign company liaison office, cost records need not be maintained. Okay. I hope it is clear. Second exemption is that companies classified as micro or small enterprise as per MSMED Act 2006. Okay, two exemptions. First, foreign company having a liaison office in India. Second, if a company is classified as micro or small enterprise as per MSMED Act 2006. Thus, if company falls under the specific sector and meets the turnover threshold, it must maintain cost records as per Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014. I hope it is clear. So here there should be companies. This is something mistake. It is like companies, cost records and audit rules. Okay. No shortcuts in the examination, my dear. I have given like this in material, but in the examination you have to write fully companies, cost records and audit rules. Okay. Now, so this is the rule 3. I hope it is clear. Rule 3 is clear. Now, rule 5, maintenance of cost records. Rule 5 explains how cost records should be maintained and what they must contain. Rule 5 talks about maintenance of cost records, whereas Rule 3 talks about applicability of cost records. Now, in this maintenance of cost records, we have general requirements. What are the general requirements is that every applicable company, which means if the company is coming under the turnover limit of more than or equal to 35 crores in the immediate preceding financial year, then it must maintain its cost records in form number CRA4, in form CRA1 from the financial year starting on or after 1st of April 2014. I hope it is clear. Every applicable company must maintain cost records in form CRA1 from the financial year starting on or after 1st of April 2014. For certain serial numbers in table number B, which is coffee and tea, milk powders, insecticides, plastics and polymers, tubes and tires, pulp and paper. So we have a list of few things from table B. Only for this non-regulated sectors, few products, the applicability has been shifted. So they have to maintain their cost records from 1st of April 2015. Other than these particular products, other than companies which are having or dealing with these particular products, all the companies have to maintain their cost records from 1st of April 2014. But if the company is having the products of table B, only for them the maintenance have been shifted to 1st of April 2015. I hope it is clear. Cost records must be kept regularly and systematically to calculate per unit cost of production, cost of operations, cost of sales and margins for each project or activity on monthly, quarterly or annual basis. First we have seen about the maintenance. Maintenance has to be done date-wise, which is 1st, 4th, 2014. For regulated sectors, only few products are non-regulated sectors. It is 1/5/2014. Next, maintenance, how it should be done? It should be done systematically and it should be done regularly. For what purpose it should be done systematically and regularly? To calculate per unit cost of production, cost of operations, cost of sales and margin for each project or activity on monthly, quarterly, annual basis. I hope it is clear. Next, records must also provide control over operations and cost, resource efficiency and all information required for the cost audit. Cost records have to be maintained in such a way that we will have a control over our operations and we will be able to minimize our wastage and we'll have an optimum utilization of resources and also whatever information we require, everything should be there in that cost records. In such a way, the cost records have to be maintained. I hope it is clear. So this will be your key requirements for maintenance of cost records. What are the key requirements? First, you will write about the date. Then you will write about it should be maintained regularly and systematically for having all these purposes. And it should be maintained in such a way that it will meet all these criteria. So these are the key requirements for maintaining a cost records. I hope it is clear. Next, what are the types of records to be maintained by a company? Major types of cost records to be maintained as per CRA1. Production records, work in progress and finished goods records, repairs and maintenance, utilities like steam, power, water, air conditioning, etc. Other service cost centers related thing like quality control, research and development, pollution control, etc. Raw material, process materials, colors and chemicals, consumable stores and spare parts, wages and salaries, overheads, sales records, records of intercompany and related party transactions, information about the normal price, cost accounts or records or statements, reconciliation of profit or loss as per cost records and financial accounts. So, about all these things, you have to maintain cost records separately. So, these are the different types of cost records which has to be maintained as per Form CRA 1. I hope it is clear. So, this has been given under Rule 5, Maintenance of Cost Records. I hope it is clear. So, this is our second question. Second super question, which is about maintenance of cost records and the types of records to be maintained. I hope it is clear. Now, super question number 3. This is about the applicability for cost audit. So far, what we have seen, I've told you about the title and commencement, rule number 1. Rule number 2, definitions we have seen. Rule number 3, applicability of cost records, I have told you in the second question. Next, we have seen about the maintenance of cost records. Right. Now, comes the question for Rule 4, applicability of cost audit. Super question number 3, discuss about the applicability for cost audit. Explain the applicability criteria for cost audit as per company's cost records and audit rules 2014, along with exemption provided under this rules, and explain the provisions relating to applicability for cost audit as per company's cost records and audit rules 2014. So either way, the question can be asked about Rule 4, cost audit. Okay. Now, Rule 4 of Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014 states about the applicability of cost audit. Every company specified in Item A, regulated sectors, shall get it cost records audited in accordance with these rules, which means if the company is having or covered under Item A products, which means the regulated sectors products, and if it comes under this particular criteria, then they have to maintain or do the cost audit for this particular products. Okay. If the overall annual turnover of a company from all of its products and services during immediate preceding financial year is rupees 50 crores or more, and the aggregate turnover of individual product or services for which cost records are required to be maintained under Rule 3 is rupees 25 crores or more. Okay. So you have to remember this. If overall annual turnover of a company from all products and services is more than 50 crores or more, and the aggregate turnover of individual products or services is more than rupees 25 crores or more, then the cost audit has to be done for Item A products. I hope it is clear. Next, every company specified in Item B, which means non-regulated sectors, shall get its cost records audited in accordance with these rules if the overall annual turnover of a company from all of its products and services during immediate preceding financial year is 100 rupees or more, and the aggregate turnover of individual products or services for which cost records are required to be maintained under Rule 3 is rupees 35 crores or more. Okay. I hope it is clear. So, simply I'm writing it here for your better understanding. So, we are talking about Rule 4. So, in Rule 4, we have cost audit maintainability for regulated sectors and for non-regulated sectors. For regulated sectors, first rule is overall turnover from all products and services in immediate preceding financial year should be more than or equal to 50 crores. This more than or equal to 50 crores, you will write it as 50 crores or more. you'll write it as rupees 50 crores or more. I hope it is clear. Next. So this should be overall turnover. Now, turnover from individual products and services in the immediate preceding financial year should be more than or equal to 25 crores. I hope it is clear. So this is for regulated sectors. Now for non-regulated sectors, overall annual turnover, here annual is also there, don't forget, overall annual turnover from all products and services in the immediate preceding financial year should be more than or equal to 100 crores, and turnover from individual products and services in the immediate preceding financial year should be more than or equal to 35 crores. So here it is 50, 25, 100, 35. I hope it is clear. So this is the rule 4. So this writing is very important. You have to learn this, and in this terminology only you have to write it in the examination. I hope it is clear. Next, the requirement for cost audit under these rules shall not apply to a company which is covered in Rule 3 and whose revenue from exports in foreign exchange exceeds 75% of its total revenue, which means these are the exceptions. Now, what are the exceptions? Which means this particular companies need not do the cost audit, but they have to maintain cost records if Rule 3 is applicable. Which means if Rule 3 is applicable, it is applicable. This exception is only for Rule 4, not for Rule 3. Okay. Now, what are the exceptions? First, revenue from exports in foreign exchange exceeds 75% of its total revenue, which means our revenue is there. In this revenue, more than 75% is from foreign exchange. Then this particular kind of company need not do the cost audit, but they have to maintain cost records. Okay. Next, the company which is operating from special economic zone. The company which is engaged in the generation of electricity for captive consumption through captive generating plant. Now, what does it mean by captive generating plant? Which means owner is having their own plant, and from that only they have generating the electricity. Whatever electricity generated from that, more than or equal to 51% is taken for own consumption, which means they are generating the electricity. From the generation of electricity, more than or equal to 51% is taken for own consumption. Then this kind of own consumption is called as captive consumption, and that kind of generating electricity plant is called as captive generating plant. I hope it is clear. So, if any entity is engaged in generation of electricity for captive consumption from a captive generating plant, or if entity is operating under special economic zone, or if entity is having an exports and the revenue which is there from foreign exchange is more than or equal to 75% of total revenue, then these kind of companies need not do cost audit. But if Rule 3 is applicable, they have to go for cost records. I hope it is clear. So this is Rule 4. So we are done with Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3, Rule 4 and Rule 5. I hope it is clear. Now these are the main super questions which you have seen so far. I hope super questions are clear, whatever we have seen, the rules. Now coming to smart question 1. A company has its units in SEZ, Special Economic Zone, and in non-SEZ area as well. What would be the applicability of company's cost records and audit rules 2014 on such a company with respect to maintenance of accounting or records and cost audit? So, a company is having a SEZ unit as well as a non-SEZ unit. So, they are asking about cost records maintenance as well as cost audit, which means you have to see Rule 3, Rule 4 as well. Okay. Now, this SEZ exemption, is it from Rule 3 or Rule 4? It is only there in our Rule 4. Yes or no? It is only for cost audit, not for cost records. Applicability of cost accounting records and cost audit. Rule 3 of company's cost records and audit rules 2014 mandates the cost accounting records for all products or activities in table A and table B, subject to threshold limits. No exemption is available once the company crosses the threshold. Even if it is from an SEZ, they have to maintain the cost records. Units in special economic zone, maintenance of cost records is mandatory if they are coming under the purview of thresholds. Okay, if from this SEZ the turnover is more than or equal to 35 crores, they have to maintain cost records. I hope it is clear. But cost audit is not required as per Rule 4 subsection 3 of 2017 rules. You need not write this Rule 4 of companies cost records and audit rules. You can write it down. I hope it is clear. So if SEZ is there, SEZ exemption is only for Rule 4, not for Rule 3. Cost records should be maintained. Cost audit need not be done. I hope it is clear. Now, super question 4. During the course of audit as cost auditor, you have come across first some material deficiencies and significant variations in material consumption over the previous year. State the provisions of company's cost records and audit rules 2014 in this regard. Now, as per Rule 6 subsection 4 of company's cost records and audit rules 2014, read with CRA 3, cost audit report form CRA 3, if there is any material deficiency, then if the cost auditor finds any material deficiency, now what does it mean by material deficiency? Which means there is some kind of difference or there is some misstatement in the records which is material, which means which will affect the entire decision of the entity. So he has come up some kind of material deficiency, then they must report it under relevant para 1 to 7 of the cost audit report. Okay, they have to report it immediately. The report must include verified data with a reference and must consider the company's comments, which means reasonable opportunity of being heard should be given before finalizing the observation. I hope it is clear. So, if cost auditor has come across any material deficiency, then he will report it in the cost audit report. With the reporting, he has to prove it as well. Okay, for the proof, he will give the verified data with the references and he should also give the reasonable opportunity of being heard to the company. I hope it is clear. Now, if there are any significant variation in the material consumption, if there is a significant variation in the material consumption compared to the previous year, the cost auditor must provide reasons in part B of annexure to the cost audit report. So when we are seeing the form CRA 3, you will understand it more. Form CRA 3 is about the cost audit report. So this is the question which has been tested from CRA 3 cost audit report. I hope it is clear. Now, smart question number 2. Is maintenance of cost accounting records mandatory for a multi-product company where all the products are not covered under the rules, even if the turnover of individual products which are covered under the rules is less than rupees 35 crores? Now, when this kind of questions are there, you have to read the question once or twice to understand it very clearly. Okay? Some students with lot of tension, what you will do? Okay, it is less than 35 crores. So cost records need not be maintained. You will write. Correct. Now, what is given in the question? Read it again. Is maintenance of cost accounting records mandatory? For which company? For a multi-product company. In Rule 3, we have seen either it could be a domestic company, foreign company, unit, branch, multi-product company, whatever it is. If it is a company, and if it is from a regulated sector or non-regulated sector, overall turnover should be more than or equal to 35 crores. Now, where all the products are not covered, okay, even if the turnover of individual products, in Rule 3, do we have a provision related to individual products? No. We only have something called as overall turnover should be more than or equal to 35 crores. But here they have given individual products turnover is less than 35 crores. So what we can do, we can take the assumption. that assuming that overall turnover is more than or equal to 35 crores, cost records has to be maintained. Okay. Cost accounting records for a multi-product company. The company's cost records or audit rules 2014 apply at a company level, not at an individual product level. There is no minimum product specific threshold for maintaining cost records. Individual product wise, we doesn't have a provision. If a company has any product covered under table A or table B, it must maintain cost records even if the turnover of such products is less than 35 crores, which means individually even if it is less than 35 crores. But overall turnover of the company is more than 35 crores. They have to maintain cost records. I hope it is clear. So this is smart question number 2. Now, smart question number 3. What would be the treatment of cost of consumption of electricity from a captive generating plant and the applicability of cost audit to such captive generating plant? Now, when we are seeing about cost audit applicability, where did we see about cost audit applicability? In rule 4, right? In rule 4, we have about applicability of cost audit. And in that applicability, we have 3 exemptions. Now, what is the first exemption? First exemption is that if the revenue from exports is more than 75% of the total revenue, then cost audit need not be done. Second exemption, if the company is from special economic zone. And the third exemption is that if company is operating from a captive generating plant and if it is having a captive consumption. So here they are asking about the treatment as well as the applicability of cost audit. For this particular entity, cost audit is not applicable. Cost of captive electricity and cost audit applicability. Rule number 3 of 2014 rules. All companies with captive electricity generation must maintain cost records because this captive generating plant exemption is there in rule 4, not in rule 3. So for rule 3, cost records have to be maintained, irrespective of whether they are covered under cost audit or not. If a company covered under the rules consumes electricity from its captive plant, the cost must be determined as per CRA1. Form CRA1, based on that, they have to do the calculation of cost. Cost audit is not applicable if the owner of plant uses at least 51% of electricity captively and not sold externally, which means he is doing 51% of own consumption, which is nothing but the captive consumption from a captive generating plant, then cost audit is not applicable. I hope it is clear. So this is about the smart question number 3. Guys, are you there? Are you listening? Do you have any doubts? Are you with me? Ram Sharan. Hi, ma'am. Guys, are you there? Are you understanding? So far, we have discussed 3 smart questions and 4 super questions. 4 super questions and 3 smart questions in which we have covered about the rules. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3 and Rule 4 and Rule 5 as well. Is it clear so far? Any doubts so far? Are you with me? Divya, yes ma'am. Paul, yes ma'am. Gajendra, yes ma'am, no doubts. Okay. What about others? There are 40 members watching. Aravind, yes ma'am. Muskan, yes ma'am. Divya, clear ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much. Now, we are moving on to smart question number 4. Raman, yes ma'am. Paul, clear ma'am. Okay. Now, smart question number 4. Now comes rule number 6. Now, this question hasn't been tested so far, but can be tested. So, I have included as a smart question. Okay. Rule number 6, cost audit. Till 5 rules we have already covered. Rule 1, title and commencement. Rule 2, definitions. Rule 3, applicability of cost records. Rule 4, applicability of cost audit. Rule 5, maintenance of cost records. Now coming to Rule 6, it is about the cost audit. Rule 6 deals with the appointment, intimation, rights, duties, removal and reporting requirements of the cost auditor. So in Rule 6 we have about all these things. The key provisions are as follows. First, appointment of cost auditor. This we have already seen in 148 subsection 3 as well. Who will appoint the cost auditor? Board of directors will appoint it. The company must appoint cost auditor within 180 days from the commencement of financial year. When cost auditor has to be appointed? Within commencement of 180 days from the financial year, board of directors has to appoint a cost auditor. Appointment must be made by passing a board's resolution. They have to pass a board's resolution and based on that they have to appoint the cost auditor. The cost auditor must be a cost accountant in practice. Who can be a cost auditor? Only a cost accountant in practice. The cost accountant in practice can be an individual, firm or LLP. I hope it is clear. Next, intimation to the cost auditor. After appointing a cost auditor, after appointment, the company must inform the cost auditor about his or her appointment, which means you, mister, you have been appointed for our company as a cost auditor. First, you have to intimate him that, okay, you have been appointed as our cost auditor. Next, the company must also obtain a written consent from the cost auditor, which means I, as a cost auditor, so and so name, I am willing to be appointed to your company as a cost auditor for this particular financial year to this particular financial year, and this will be my scopes. Okay. So he will give her written consent stating that I am also ready to be appointed to your company as a cost auditor. Written consent letter will be given and certificate from the cost auditor confirming eligibility, which means after appointment, the company shall inform the cost auditor about the appointment. And after informing, the company has to receive two things. First is the written consent and second is the certificate. In that certificate, what all will be there? Contents of cost auditor certificate. First, the certificate should confirm details of cost auditor, which means whether he is an individual, whether he is a firm or whether it is an LLP. Then, he or she is eligible and not disqualified. All the qualifications are there, no disqualifications are applied. They have to prove it. Next, appointment is within prescribed limits. By following all the rules and regulations which are there in law, the appointment has been made. Next, compliance with section 141. In section 141, we have about qualifications, disqualifications, rights, duties. By conforming with all those provisions only, we have appointed a cost auditor. Next, all information which is given in this particular certificate is true and fair. So, all this contents should be there in the certificate which is provided by the cost auditor to the company. And here, there is another point. The cost auditor also should state about the arm's length relationship with the company. Arm's length relationship with the company, which means he have to state that company and the cost auditor is not a related party and whatever the transaction which is done in arm's length relationship. I hope it is clear. So all this have to be given in what? In the certificate. Next, filing of notice of appointment. After appointing, after getting the written consent, after getting the certificate, the company must file Form CRA2 with the central government. Now, coming to the forms. In maintenance of cost records itself, which means in Rule 5 itself, we have seen how the cost records have to be maintained in Form CRA1. Form CRA1 is maintenance of cost records. Form CRA1 is maintenance of cost records. Now, Form CRA2. Cost auditor is appointed. Cost auditor is appointed within 180 days from the commencement of financial year by the board of directors through a board's resolution. Then company has intimated to the cost auditor that you have been appointed. They have received the written consent. They have received the certificate having all these factors. Now, after appointment, the company must file Form CRA2 with the central government about the intimation of appointment of cost auditor by the company. Okay. Form CRA2 is about the intimation of appointment of cost auditor. This intimation will be done by the company to central government. I hope it is clear. So this is Form CRA2. Now, intimation has to be done when? The company must file Form CRA2 with the central government, and the time limit for that is within 30 days of passing the board's resolution. Okay. So, when appointing, they will pass a board's resolution. Within 30 days from passing the board's resolution, or within 180 days of commencement of financial year, whichever is earlier. Okay. Within 180 days from the commencement of financial year, or within 30 days from the passing of board's resolution, whichever is earlier, the company has to intimate about the appointment of cost auditor to the central government. Then, filing has to be done electronically along with the prescribed fees. I hope it is clear. Cost auditor, till when cost auditor will be there in his office? Till the expiry of 180 days from the closure of financial year. When he will be appointed? Within 180 days of commencement of financial year, he will be appointed. When he can vacate the office? Till the expiry of 180 days from the closure of financial year, he will stay in the office. Till he or she submits the cost auditor report, whichever is earlier. So, he can stay till the expiry of 180 days, or he can stay till he submits the cost audit report. After giving cost audit report, what work he will have? He will leave. Next, removal of cost auditor. Can he be removed from the office? The answer is yes. How they are appointing? Through a board's resolution. How to remove? Through a board's resolution. A cost auditor may be removed before completion of a term through a board's resolution. Reasonable opportunity of being heard must be given. The board must record the reasons and write. Three things. Board's resolution should be there, and reasonable opportunity of being heard should be given, and the board must record the reasons in writing. I hope it is clear. Now, if we are being able to remove him, then he can also resign from the office. Yes, resignation is also possible. He can resign from his office, but after resignation, the place will be vacant. Yes or no? So, it is called a vacancy. The company must fill the casual vacancy due to resignation, death, removal, or disqualification within 30 days. So, casual vacancy has to be filled within 30 days. By whom? By the board of directors. How? The same process will be repeated again. Board's resolution will be passed, cost auditor will be appointed, and then they will receive the same, consent letter will be taken, certificate will be taken, it will again be filed to central government in the same Form CRA2. Okay, the same process will be repeated again. Now, timeline for cost audit report. The cost auditor must submit the cost audit report in Form CRA3. Now, what is Form CRA3? Form CRA3, cost audit report. Form CRA3 is cost audit report. The cost auditor must submit the cost audit report in Form CRA3 within 180 days from the closure of financial year. Report must be duly signed. So, within 180 days from the closure of financial year, the cost auditor has to submit the cost audit report. I hope it is clear. The report should include reservations, observations, qualifications, and suggestions. Okay. By including all this, the cost audit report has to be filed by the cost auditor to the company. He has to give it. I hope it is clear. After receipt of the report, the company is responsible to file it with the central government in Form CRA4. Time limit within 30 days from receipt of cost audit report, the company has to file it to the central government in Form CRF4 in XBRL format. Filing must be done electronically in XBRL format. So what is Form CRA4? Form CRA4. Filing of cost audit report by company to central government. Okay, filing of cost audit report by company to central government is Form CRA4. I hope it is clear. And this has to be done within 30 days of receipt of cost audit report from the cost auditor. Before filing CRA4, the cost statements and audit reports must be approved by the board of directors, and CRA4 must be digitally signed by a director and the company secretary if appointed. I hope it is clear. So these are all the provisions of Rule 6 cost audit. I hope it is clear. Now, even though the theory question hasn't been tested so far, all this time limits, whatever is there, MCQs have been tested. Like who will appoint a cost auditor, board of directors, when they have to appoint within 180 days from the commencement of financial year. All of this have been tested in MCQs. So it is important. Remember it. I hope it is clear so far. So this is about forms and rules. Rule 6 rules are there. We have seen 6 rules. We have 4 forms. We have seen 4 forms. Okay. Now, super question number 5. While accepting the offer of appointment as cost auditor of a company, what certificate should be submitted by the cost auditor to the company? We have seen in the previous question only. Is the cost auditor required to give any certificate with respect to his or her or its independence and arm's length relationship with the appointing company? The answer is yes. Do we have to give the certificate? Yes. What all should be there in the certificate? What like who is a cost auditor? Whether it is an individual, firm or LLP. Second, that he is qualified and they are not disqualified. Third, section 141 is complied with, which means all the provisions related to qualifications, disqualifications, rights, duties which are there under section 141 that are complied with. Fourth is about any proceedings against the auditor or firm are disclosed and accurate. And at last, they have to also disclose about the arm's length relationship. I hope it is clear. Certificate by the cost auditor. The cost auditor must submit a certificate confirming the individual or firm is eligible and not disqualified under relevant law. The criteria in section 141 of the Act are satisfied. The appointment is within the legal limits. Any proceedings against the auditor or firm are disclosed and accurate. Additionally, the cost auditor must certify independence and arm's length relationship with the company. As per second schedule, part 1, clause 4 of Cost and Work Accountants Act 1959, it is a professional misconduct if the cost auditor expresses an opinion on cost or pricing statements of a business where their or their firm have a substantial interest, which means there is no arm's length relationship, but the cost auditor has a share in that particular company. Substantial interest is there. By hiding that substantial interest, he has given his opinion on cost or pricing statements, then it will be turned out to be a professional misconduct as per second schedule, part 1, clause 4 of Cost and Work Accountants Act 1959. Now, coming to this professional misconduct concept, we will see in the next unit, which is unit 3, cost auditor. I hope it is clear. So, this is about super question number 5. Now, coming to super question number 6. As per company's cost records and audit rules 2014, summarize what are the various CRF forms to be submitted by a company for which cost audit or maintenance of cost records are mandatory. How many forms do we have? 4 forms. Form CRA1 is about maintenance of cost records. Form CRA2 is about what? Intimation of appointment of cost auditor by company to central government. Form CRA3, cost audit report. Form CRA4, filing of cost audit report by company to central government. 4 forms we have. Okay. Now, CRA 1. Forms in which cost records shall be maintained. The form CRA 1 prescribes the form in which cost records shall be maintained. The form categorizes the requirements of maintaining proper details as per 31 headings. So in form CRA 1, we have 31 headings. According to that headings, we have to record the information. Now, in the 31 headings, what all have? I have given here. About material, employee cost, utilities, direct expenses, repairs and maintenance, transportation cost, quality control expenses, research and development expenses, service department expenses, capacity determination, work in progress and finished goods, related party transactions, byproducts and joint products, production records, sales records, cost statements, statistical records, records of physical verification, and at last about unit of measurement. So entirely in 31 headings, we have to record about all the information which is there in the entity, which is given in the form CRA 1, maintenance of cost records. I hope it is clear. Ma'am, in exam, do we have to write entire 31 headings? Not needed. Remember few headings and write that headings. It is more than enough if this question has been tested. I hope it is clear. Now, form CRA 2. Intimation of appointment of cost auditor by the company to central government. In this particular form, what all information will be there? First, corporate identity number or foreign company registration number of a company. Whether a domestic company or a foreign company, they have to maintain cost records. So, if it is a domestic company, corporate identity number. If it is a foreign company, then foreign company registration number. Then, general information about the entity, which means what is the name of the entity, what is its address, state, pin code, all those information. Products or services to which cost audit relates, which means the company is dealing in which products. Either if it is regulated products, in regulated products, what? Is it dealing with fertilizers? It is dealing with telecommunication, sugar, alcohol, what? If it is in non-regulated sectors, then it is dealing in what products? Is it insecticides? Is it pesticides, milk powders? Is it coffee and tea? About what? Okay. Products or services to which cost audit. Next, details of all cost auditors appointed. Till now, whom all cost auditor team appointed. Next, financial year to be covered under the cost audit. Details of previous cost auditor who has not been appointed, which means both the resolution has been passed, but the cost auditor is not appointed. If any such case is there, then their name also has to be written. Then, attachments, copy of both resolution of the company and optional attachment if any. So, these are the details which are covered under form CRA 2. Next, form CRA 3, form of cost audit report. This cost audit report is dealt in annexure. Annexure to the cost audit report has been reclassified into 4 parts. So, entire cost audit report will be there in 4 parts. Part A deals about the general information, which means about the general information of the entity. Whether the cost auditor is a firm, individual or LLP. Now, what is their name? What is their registration number? Where it is located? Address, state, pin code. All those details will be there in general information, and what products are covered. Everything, general information will be there. Next, part B talks about for manufacturing sector. In this for manufacturing sector, we will have abridged cost statements related to manufacturing sector. It will be about the qualitative information, quantitative information. All this will be there for manufacturing sector. Okay. All information related to manufacturing sector will be recorded in part B. If it is a service sector, then same abridged cost statement, qualitative information, qualitative information regarding service sector will be recorded in part C. Then in part D, other details and statements will be there. Like what will say? Value addition, distribution of earnings, and then reconciliation statements, and then financial position and ratio analysis. These are the things which we have practical questions for. Now, all these are covered under part D of form CRA 3. I hope it is clear. So, these are the 4 parts of CRA 3. Part A, general information. Part B for manufacturing sector. Part C for service sector. And Part D for other details and statements. I hope it is clear. Now, CRA 4. Form for filing cost audit report with the central government. In this, the same thing will be there. Corporate identity number or a foreign company registration number of the company. General information. Details of industry, sectors, products or services with their CTA heading wherever applicable as per rules for regulated and non-regulated sector, which means what products are covered from regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors. Next, details of industry, sectors or products related to non-regulated sector. Okay. Here, the cost audit report is being submitted, and here not covered in the cost audit report. What are covered in cost audit report? What are not covered in cost audit report? Separately, you will write it. Next, details of cost auditors appointed. Details of observations of cost audit report. Now, in Form CRA 3, the cost audit report will be given by the cost auditor to the company. Yes or no? In this cost audit report, he will give about his observations, reservations, qualifications, justifications, all that will be given in Form CRA 3. Now, what all observations are there by the cost auditor, that will be given as details in Form CRA 4 when filing it to the central government. I hope it is clear. Next, attachments. XBRL document in respect of cost audit report and company's information and explanation on every qualification and reservation. Next, optional attachments, if any. So, this is about the Form CRA 4. I hope it is clear. So, these are about the 4 forms which we have. This is super question number 6. I hope it is clear. Now, super question number 7. Explain the term normal capacity vis-a-vis installed capacity as per defined in Form CRA 1. Now, when I was discussing here in this particular question, when we were discussing about CRA 1, I told you that in CRA 1, the maintenance of cost records is classified in 31 headings. Right? So, from this 31 headings, we also have another heading which talks about the capacity determination. Now, from that, we have a question where we have to explain about the term. What does it mean by normal capacity and what is the difference between normal capacity and an installed capacity? Okay. Para 18 of Form CRA 1 of Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014 states about the installed capacity. Now, why this question is taken separately and being explained is, in Cost Accounting Standard 2 also talks about the capacity determination. Okay. What Cost Accounting Standard 2 also talks about the capacity determination. In that also we have something about the installed capacity, normal capacity. Now, if student doesn't know that this has been tested from Form CRA 1, he will directly write here as Cost Accounting Standard 2, capacity determination tells that installed capacity is this, normal capacity is this. Then you will get entirely 0 marks. Because here capacity determination has not been tested from Cost Accounting Standards, but from Form CRA 1. So, you have to clearly write that this has been tested from Form CRA 1, not from Cost Accounting Standards. Okay. Para 18 of Form CRA 1 of Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014 states that installed capacity is determined based on manufacturer's technical specifications, capacities of individual or interrelated production centers, operational constraints or capacity of critical machines, or number of shifts. How this installed capacity will be determined? Based on all these factors, installed capacity will be determined. Now, what does it mean by installed capacity? Nothing but the Overall capacity, maximum capacity which is attainable by that particular thing is called as installed capacity. Without any interruptions, without considering anything, if we take the maximum possible output, that maximum possible output is called as installed capacity. Now this can be determined by using manufacturers or trader specification, capacities of individual or interrelated production centers, operational constraints, or capacity of critical machines, or number of shifts. I hope it is clear. Next, normal capacity shall be determined vis-a-vis installed capacity after carrying out following adjustments, which means what I told it as an installed capacity, maximum possible output without any interruptions, without eliminating anything. If you are calculating maximum possible output, then it is installed capacity. But whatever that adjustments are there, if you are removing all the interruptions, then it is called as normal capacity. From installed capacity, if we are removing the adjustments, then it is normal capacity. Now, the adjustments are holidays, normal shutdown days, normal ideal time lost in batch change, time lost due to preventive maintenance, normal breakdowns of equipments, loss in efficiency due to aging of equipment or number of shifts. Now, all these are interruptions, normal interruptions. We are not talking about abnormal factors here. Normally, there will be holidays, there will be shift changes, there will be lunch breaks, there will be regular maintenance, there will be preventive maintenance. Now, all these are the adjustments. Without considering any of these adjustments, if you are trying to calculate the maximum capacity of that particular entity, it is called as installed capacity. But from this installed capacity, if we are eliminating these adjustments, then whatever capacity we get, it is the normal capacity. I hope it is clear. So this is the normal capacity vis-a-vis installed capacity. I hope it is clear. So this is super question number 7. Next. Super question number 8. This is also from form CRA 1. What is the basis adopted to determine normal price with respect to related party transactions? Here in form CRA 1, we have 31 headings. In this 31 headings, one heading talks about capacity determination and the other heading talks about related party transactions. Okay, talks about related party transactions. Now, what is the question? What is the basis adopted to determine normal price with respect to related party transactions? In related party transactions, what is called as normal price? And for calculating this normal price, what basis you will adopt? This you already have in your DT. Okay, in international transaction, you will calculate arm's length price. You will use some methods for doing it. Yes or no? Comparable uncontrollable price method, resale price method, whatever you use it to determine what? Arm's length relationship, related party transaction. So that is the basis adopted to determine the normal price. Okay. Now, what is meant by the normal price with respect to related party transactions in form CRA 1? State the basis adopted to determine the normal price. Either way, the question can be tested. Now, first, what does it mean by normal price? Normal price means price charged for comparable and similar product in the ordinary course of trade and commerce, where the price charged is the sole consideration of the sale and such sale is not made to a related party. See, first major thing, when we call a price to be a normal price, when the sale is not made to a related party and whatever the price which is charged in this particular sale, the price is the sole consideration. The price is the sole consideration and whatever the price which is charged is comparable and similar products, which means here I am selling a TV. Okay. For example, I am selling a TV. I am selling a TV to a person who is A. Now, A is not related to me at any way. Now, whatever price, I am selling this TV for 20,000 rupees. Now, this 20,000 rupees is the sole consideration, which means I am taking only 20,000 rupees from A. Other than that, I am not taking the old TV or I am not taking any other barter system from that particular person. Only 25,000 rupees. So, the price is the sole consideration and A is not related to me. Now, the third major important point. The price charged for comparable and similar products, which means the same TV which I am selling to Mr. A. If I had to sell this TV to Mr. B, how much price I will sell? If I sell to Mr. B also for the same amount of 20,000 rupees, then the price which I have charged to A is also a normal price, which means for the comparable product, comparable sale, similar product, I am charging the same price. Then it is a normal price. But if I am charging to Mr. B for 20,000 rupees and I am charging to Mr. A only 10,000 rupees, then here what's happening? The same product is sold to another party for 20,000 rupees, whereas for A, you are selling it only for 10,000 rupees because A is a related party. In this case, the TV which is sold, the price which is charged is not a normal price. I hope it is clear. Okay. So, when it is called as a normal price, price charged for comparable and similar product in the ordinary course of trade and commerce, where the price charged is the sole consideration of the sale and such sale is not made to a related party. Now, normal price can be construed to be a price at which two unrelated parties and two non-disparate parties would agree to a transaction. Where two non-related parties are getting into a transaction, in that particular case, whatever the price is there, it is the normal price. Okay. And where such transaction is not clouded due to proximity of the parties to the transaction. No one has influenced them to enter into this particular transaction. They have voluntarily entered. So, their price is called as normal price. In respect to related party transaction or supplies made or services rendered by the company to a company termed as a related party relationship and vis-a-vis, records shall be maintained showing contracts entered into, agreements or understanding reached in respect of what all records they have to maintain about the purchase and sale of raw materials, finished goods, about the rendering of services, about the process materials and rejected goods, about utilization of plant facilities and technical know-how, supply of utilities and any other services, administrative, technical, managerial or any other consultancy services, purchase and sale of capital goods including plant and machinery, any other payment related to production of goods or rendering of services. If any of this has been taken place between related party, then all this information has to be recorded as a related party transaction information in form CRA 1. I hope it is clear. Now, these records shall also indicate the basis followed for arriving at the rates charged or paid for such goods or services. Now, how we are determining a price to be a normal price? What bases are adopted? This basis are adopted. The basis adopted to determine normal price shall be classified as under. You can use any of these methods to determine the normal price. First, it can be comparable uncontrollable price method. Second, resale price method. Third, cost plus method. Fourth, profit split method. Fifth, transactional net margin method. Or sixth, any other method to be specified. So, this is about the related party transactions normal price as per form CRA 1. I hope it is clear. So far, whatever we have discussed, is it clear? Is it clear? We have 8 super questions in Unit 2 Companies Cost Records and Audit Rules 2014, and we have completed super 8 questions which are very, very important. Super 8 questions are completed. Is it clear so far? whatever we have discussed. Super 8 questions. Is it clear? Guys, are you there? Is it clear? Abhi, ma'am, I purchased your lecture, but when I see your recorded lectures, your book and my concept book are not same, because in my book every topic is a short and in workbook even answers are short. Abhi, please contact the admin department. I guess you already contacted our sir, right? Our sir has told me about this. Now I have told to change the classes. Now you have received the classes which are of previous batch. Okay. So whatever the classes which are taught to the recent batch, I have told them to update them. Those will be updated very soon. You need not worry about it. Pujita, yes ma'am, clear. Gajendra, yes ma'am, clear. What about others? 33 students. What about others? Is everything clear? Whatever super 8 questions which are very important from companies cost records and audit rules 2014. Is it clear? We have discussed about rules, we have discussed about forms also, and from these rules and forms how questions are being tested also I have told you, and how you have to write the same way how we have discussed. You have to write it in the examination, you will get marks. Ma'am, may you please explain smart question 2 with an example? Yes, Muskan, I can do that. Ravi, yes ma'am, clear. Ashokan, clear ma'am. Abhi, thank you ma'am. Balu Reddy, yes ma'am, clear. Okay, Muskan, what's smart question 2, right? What is smart question 2? Okay. Muskan, now this is the question which you have asked. Is maintenance of cost accounting records mandatory for a multi-product company? Now, first let us see about what they have asked. Okay. They have asked about the maintenance of cost accounting records. Now, which companies have to maintain cost records? First, for which companies applicability of cost records is there? It is given by Rule 3. Yes or no? Rule 3. Now, in Rule 3, what we have seen? Either a company can be a domestic company or a foreign company. Company can be a domestic company or a foreign company. It can be a unit or branch. It can be a unit or branch. It can be having a product of regulated sectors or non-regulated sectors. But the main provision is overall turnover should be more than or equal to 35 crores in the immediate preceding financial year. This is the provision which we have for applicability of cost records. Okay. Now, here they have asked, is maintenance of cost records mandatory? Do they have to maintain cost records? For a multi-product company, in provision, there doesn't specify about a single product or a multi-product company. Any company. Okay. So, multi-product company is not required. Next, where all the products are not covered under the rules. Okay. All products need not be covered. Even a one product which is covered in regulated sectors, or even a one product which is covered in non-regulated sectors, and overall turnover is more than 35 crores, they have to maintain. It need not be there that all the products have to be covered in regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors. No, there are many products in the market, but only we have a few list in regulated sectors and non-regulated sectors. Okay. Any product in regulated sector, even one product is covered, they have to maintain. It doesn't need that all products have to be covered. No. So this is also strict. Now, even if the turnover of individual products which are covered under the rules is less than 35 crores. Now, what if individual product turnover is less than 35 crores? We have to know about the overall turnover. There isn't any provision related to individual turnover. We have to only focus on the overall turnover. So, cost accounting records for a multi-product company. The company cost records and audit rules 2014 apply at a company level, not at an individual product level. So, if a ABC Limited is there, and ABC Limited is a multi-product company. Assume that it is having a 30 products. Assume it is having a 30 products. Now it is having a 30 products. Now all these 30 products are not covered under the rules. Okay, not a problem. Now one product it is there. In these 30 products, 2 products are there. One is industrial alcohol, and the other product is sugar, and the third product is coffee. Okay, sugar, coffee, industrial alcohol. 3 products are there. It is a multi-product company, but in these 3 products, 2 products are covered under regulated sectors table. 1 product is covered under non-regulated sectors table. Now, here all products are not covered under rules. It is okay. It is fine. Now, the second point, it is a multi-product company. Okay, we have taken that. Now, even if the turnover of individual product is less than 35 crores. Now, they are telling that from industrial alcohol, the turnover is less than 35 crores. From sugar, it is less than 35 crores. From coffee, it is less than 35 crores. I am not concerned about it. The overall turnover of ABC Limited in the immediate preceding financial year should be more than or equal to 35 crores. Okay, I hope it is clear. Muskan, is it clear? Paul, ma'am, I have purchased EO batch as I have concept book as a hard copy. Pinnacle is available in the folder. So can you please provide capsule in that folder? I've already told you make it available. Haven't they made it available? Like I'll recheck it again, Paul. I have already shared the capsule soft copy for them to upload in the app. I'll check it out. Ma'am, your video is paused. Oh, sorry. From when it paused? Thank you for letting me know. Yes, I guess it's clear now. Muskan. Clear, ma'am. Thank you, Muskan. Okay. I hope it is clear so far. No, ma'am, not available in the folder. Okay, Paul, I'll make it check and I'll make that available. Okay. Now super 8 questions are completed, and coming to smart questions, we have completed 4 smart questions. Okay. We have 2 more smart questions to go. We will see that quickly. Now, smart question number 5. Classify the information which are required to be given in the form CRA 2 for intimation of appointment of cost auditor by the company to the central government. This question we have already covered here. Form CRA 2 intimation, what all should be covered? What all should be covered? The following information is required to be given in the form CRA 2. Intimation of appointment of cost auditor by the company to central government. Corporate identity number, foreign company registration number, general information, products or services to which cost audit relates, details of all cost auditors appointed, financial year to be covered under the cost audit, details of previous cost auditor which has not been appointed, not reappointed, appointed, attachments, copy of board's resolution, optional attachment. All these are the information which are required to be given in form CRA 2 to file an intimation of appointment of cost auditor by company to central government. I hope it is clear. So this is smart question number 5. Now, smart question number 6. The cost audit report in CRA 3 as submitted by the cost auditor contains more of management audit basics than mere data of production and services. Comment on same justifying the reason. So what they are telling us, Form CRA 3. Now what is Form CRA 3? Form CRA 3 is about cost audit report. Form CRA 3 is about cost audit report. Now they are telling that cost audit report contains mere of management audit basics, which means it only talks about management audit, which means it talks about how management is taking decisions, what is this, what is that. It talks about that rather than about production and services. Give the justification. Okay. Now, the cost auditor reports whether the cost accounting system ensures a fair determination of production cost or not. Now, what does cost auditor do? He will do the verification of cost records, cost statements and other related information of an entity. And then after doing the verification, he will give the assurance that cost accounting system, whatever is followed by the company, is followed correctly. And there is a fair determination of production cost. Whatever the price which is charged to a product, it is fairly priced. He will give that particular assurance after doing the cost audit verification in his cost audit report. Now, it includes analysis of company's financial performance, product-wise cost audit, key ratios, and comments on these ratios. By considering all these things only, he will verify what is about the cost accounting system, how the prices are being charged to the products. So, by doing all this verification only, the cost auditor will give the opinion about the cost records. Reports installed capacity utilization and reasons for shortfall, distinguishing between controllable and uncontrollable factors. Now he will check what is the installed capacity, which means what is the maximum possible output capacity can be utilized. From this maximum output utilization, how much they are utilizing. For example, a machine can run for 24 hours in a day, but how many hours the entity is running it? Entity is only running it for 8 hours. Then what is the rest hours? Okay. The break should be there for the machinery to be run for the next term. 4 hours gap should be there. After that, the shift changes are for 1 hour. After that, the whoever the person who is in charge of machinery is going for 1 hour of lunch break. After that, there is a breakdown of 1 hour. So these are all the interruptions. Okay. All these interruptions will be checked by the cost auditor. If it is justifiable interruptions, he will accept it. If those are unnecessary interruptions, then he will report it in his cost audit report. I hope it is clear. Reports about the installed capacity utilization and reasons for shortfall, distinguishing between controllable and uncontrollable factors. What are controllable? If you are going for 2 hours lunch break, control it to be the half an hour. If regularly breakdown is happening, then do the maintenance properly. So all these instructions will be given by the cost auditor. Observes major cost variations in raw materials, power, fuel, wages, overheads and other key expenses over previous years. So he will check about each and everything about the previous attempt cost. Okay. How much material has been costed in the previous year, and in this year how much material is cost, how much power is taken in the previous year, how much power cost is there in the current year. He will do the verification, comparison will be done. Next, remedial actions and improvement areas. He will suggest for correcting imbalances in production facilities, maximizing installed capacity utilization, cost reduction and eliminating production bottlenecks, enhancing the inventory management policies. Thus, CRA 3 is not just a cost data report, but a management tool that helps business enhance the efficiency and profitability. So here we are justifying that cost auditor will not only do the verification simply, which means he will see the books, whatever it is there. Now 4 pages booklet you have given. I'll see that booklet. I will give my report on that and I'll submit it to the company and I'll leave off. No. He will do the management related work as well, which means he will do the analysis of previous year terms. He will do the analysis of installed capacity. He will do the analysis about the financial performance, each and everything in the entity. He will do the analysis. He will do the verification. After verification, he will give the suggestions for the improvement as well. So because of that, we are telling that form CRA3 is not only just about verification of cost data, but also it is a management tool. I hope it is clear. So this is about the smart question number 6. So I hope it is clear. So these are the questions which are very, very important for you for upcoming December 2025 examination. So unit 2 company CRA rules. We have started with section 148. I've given you a quick revision about section 148. If you want section 148 notes, then you can text me the Telegram channel. I'll share section 148 notes to you. And then after section 148, we have discussed about rules. We have discussed about forms. From rules, how questions will be tested and how you have to write it. From forms, how questions will be tested and how you have to write it. So in that, super questions are 8, which are very, very important. And smart questions, just revise it. It is more than enough. But super questions, you have to practice writing as well. Because in that only, we have limits. We have regulated sectors, non-regulated sectors, immediate preceding financial. Terminology is there, which you have to remember pakka perfectly. Okay. So 20 marks is covered. So entirely we have completed 27 marks, a rapid revision of 2 units, basics of cost audit and companies cost records and audit tools 2014. I hope it is clear. So students, now let me know if you have any doubts. If you want me to repeat any question again, I'll repeat it. If you want me to discuss any concept in detail, that will be discussed. Namrata, question 3 भी करवा दीजिए smart question please ma'am. Yes ma'am, will you upload the notes? These notes already shared in the Telegram channel. Please join the Telegram channel. It is there in the Telegram channel. Namrata, आपको question 3 चाहिए. Smart question 3. करवा देंगे. क्या बड़ी बात है उसमें? Now. Smart question 3 for Namrata. Ravi, ma'am, will you please provide compiled PDF of this marathon and practical questions so that we can take Xerox? That would helpful for us. Yes, will be shared. Definitely will be shared. Smart question 3. What would be the treatment of cost of consumption of electricity from a captive generating plant and the applicability of cost audit to such captive generating plant? Now, where did we see about the captive generating plant? This is about rule 4. Rule 4, we have talked about the applicability of cost audit. Applicability of cost audit. In applicability of cost audit, after limits, we have exemptions. What is that? Exemptions. In these exemptions, we have 3 exemptions. Now, first exemption is that if your total revenue, whatever the total revenue is there, in the total revenue, more than 75% of this revenue is from foreign exchanges, then this particular entity need not go for cost audit. Next, if the entity is located in SEZ, Special Economic Zone. Third, if the company is having a captive generating plant. If the company is having a captive generating plant. Captive generating plant, which means what? Which means for doing production, we need electricity. Yes or no? No. Through this captive generating plant, the company is having the own electricity generation. Okay, that is called as captive generating plant. Now, from this captive generating plant, the entity is going for captive consumption. Captive consumption, which means whatever the electricity generated, from that generated electricity, more than 51% they are utilizing for own consumption. Okay, more than 51% is for own consumption. Rest whatever it is there, they are selling it for outside people. Okay, more than 51% is taken for own consumption. Then the company which is having a captive generating plant and doing a captive consumption, this particular kind of company need not go for cost audit. They need not do the cost audit. But whatever these exemptions are there, these are only exemptions of rule 4, not for rule 3. Matlab kya hai? Now the company is having a revenue of the same company is there, which is having a revenue from which 75% is from foreign revenue, but overall turnover is more than or equal to 35 crores. Then cost records have to be maintained. Okay. Similarly, SEZ. Overall turnover is more than or equal to 35 crores. Cost records have to be maintained. Similarly, captive consumption, captive generating plant is there. Overall turnover more than or equal to 35 crores. Cost records have to be maintained. Rule 3 applicable. Rule 4 not applicable. I hope it is clear. Now, coming to question. What would be the treatment of cost of consumption of electricity from a captive generating plant? Now, coming to the treatment, how you have to treat it. If the company covered under the rules consumes electricity from its captive plant, self-consumption, the cost must be determined as per CRA 1. In CRA 1, what we have seen? Form CRA 1, maintenance of cost records. Maintenance of cost records, we have seen 31 headings. In this 31 headings, we have seen about the captive consumption. There is a one point related to captive consumption. So, based on this form CRA 1, the cost calculation will be done. I hope it is clear. So, this is the treatment of captive consumption. Now, the second question, the applicability of cost audit to such captive generating plant. Is cost audit applicable? The answer is no. So, as per rule 3, all companies with captive electricity generation must maintain cost records. Rule 3 applicable, rule 4 not applicable. Irrespective of whether they are covered under cost audit or not. Cost records maintain, they have to maintain. If company covered under rules consumes electricity from captive plant, the cost must be determined as per CRA 1. This is the treatment. And then cost audit is not applicable if the owner of plant uses at least 51% of electricity captively and not sold externally, which means captive consumption is being done. Then cost audit is not applicable. I hope it is clear. Smart question 3. I hope it is clear, Namrata. Pooja Kumari, ma'am, if I only study these questions, can we get good marks? Yes, you will get good marks. Is this cover all concept of this chapter? Yes, this chapter 2, we have covered all the concepts. Chapter 1 also, we have covered all the concepts. Or we have to go through regular notes also for covering concept. If you have done your revision completely for CMAD, the day before examination, if you are just sitting with this particular material, it is more than enough. You need not to take 3 books which I have given you. Concept book, Pinnacle, Capsule. No need to get 3 books. Day before examination, just sit with this material and study. Now, as you have much time, if you are not thorough with the concepts, then go with the concept book, Pinnacle and Capsule. If you have done your revision entirely, this is a marathon, which means you have taken my regular class, you have taken my exam oriented class, and then you have come to marathon. This is more than enough for getting an exemption. You can even aim for 80 plus and 90 plus if you are with me from the start. Namrata, yes ma'am, clear, thank you. Okay. So yes, we have completed our day 1 marathon with basics of cost audit and companies cost records and audit rules 2014. Is everything clear for everyone? I need a reply from each one of you to know whether the class is clear. Today's class, is it clear? Is it fast? Is it slow? Do you want me to speed up? Do you want me to slow it down? Do you want me to make any changes in this particular marathon? As a teacher, can you suggest please? About what, Pooja Kumari? Ravi, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Is everything clear? 35 people are there in the live. Please let me know whether everything is clear. Ashokan, yes, ma'am. Thank you. That can be rely on BCCA Super 50 and Marathon for exam. Pooja Kumari, you need not ask me. You can ask your seniors. You can ask your friends who have cleared their examination in the previous attempts. Okay. So whatever Super 50 and Marathon classes from BCCA we are providing, we are not blindly giving it. We are doing our 100% analysis from past examination question papers, from mock question papers, from MTPs, RTPs, everything. Whatever resources you have to prepare, we are compiling everything. We are taking it into one source and providing it to you. Nothing but we are spoon feeding you. You can blindly trust us. Because now we not that much time to revise our regular class notes. Yes, you can rely. Madhu Kumari, clear ma'am, thank you so much. Clear ma'am. Janardhan, thank you. Balu, clear ma'am. Ashokan, clear ma'am. Ramesh Babu, clear madam. Paul, yes ma'am, everything is crystal clear. Thank you, Paul. Pooja Kumari, okay ma'am, thanks. Okay, how was day 1 class? Please upload compiled material. PDF will be uploaded as early as possible. Once I complete it, I'll upload it. Okay. I hope everything is clear. Now this material has been already shared in the Telegram channel. So what you have to do after this particular live has been completed, take break. If you have sat with me for entire 3.5 hours, take break. Go have some coffee, tea, snacks, whatever you want. Sit with your parents, talk. After that night, you have to take this material. You have to read. You have to write. Okay. As and when we are completing the marathon, revise on that particular day itself, because we are taking only 2 topics per day. So revise that day itself so that even you will not be hectic. Superb, ma'am, Pooja Kumari. And clear another doubt also. Pooja Kumari. Yes, Pooja Kumari, what is your doubt? Let me know what is your doubt. I'm waiting. Oh, Pooja Kumari, already cleared, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So thank you everyone for joining for the live. The live was very good. We have completed the 2 topics of day 1. We'll see you guys on the next day, which means tomorrow, day 2 of Marathon of Cmad. Okay. We'll see you guys on the day 2. Tomorrow also come with the same Josh. I'll share you the material, but don't forget to revise this before coming to the tomorrow's class. Okay, you have to complete this. And tomorrow I'll share the material as well. Take that material, sit in front of your laptops, mobile phones, whatever it is. We will do the revision of the next 2 units. Okay. Along with this PDF, we need to do 100 headshot questions also. Not needed. Will there be such session for law as well? No idea. You have to ask Bhavya ma'am. Such a wonderful session. Sujesh Gowda. Thank you. Thank you so much. Practical questions. 1.5x లో విన్నాను మారథాన్ 1x లో చూడాలి అంటే కష్టంగా ఉంది మేడం. మారథాన్ 1x లో చూస్తున్నారా? ఎందుకు చూస్తున్నారు 1x లో? ఇప్పుడు లైవ్ ఏ నడుస్తుంది కదా. 1x లో చూడకండి, నార్మల్గా చూడండి, ఇంకా టైం ఉంది కదా మీకు. నేను ముందే స్పీడ్ గా మాట్లాడతా. మీరు నా మారథాన్స్ కానివ్వండి, నా వీడియోస్ కానివ్వండి, ఇంకా 1x లో 1.5x లో పెడితే మొత్తం బ్లా 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 ఉంటుంది. ఏం అర్థం కాదు.
Ma'am, please also upload notes of section 148.
Done, Pooja Kumari. As requested, will be shared right after this class has ended. Okay, everyone. See you. Bye. Good evening. Good night. Revise and we'll see you guys in the next class. Okay, I'm ending the live. If you have any more doubts, you can ask me in the Telegram channel. Okay, bye. If you have liked the class, hit the like button, guys. Many students are there, but likes are very less. Thanks, ma'am. Thank you so much.